That's good. Yeah, so you don't have much choice. Won't be importing anything, huh? Oh, this music is my... Man. When game music brings back memories and shit, that's pretty special. Alright. Yeah.
Welcome to Alliance Military
This is what we're doing here.
Database. Classified information requested. Establishing secure
Hey, what's going on,
connection.
man? Hey, Sniper. Hey, what's up?
Secure connection confirmed.
Fran. Gotta name her Fran. Fran Shepard, that'll work.
Please log in to access your profile.
Fran. Oh, the feels, man. Especially this first one. This first one has the most feels, I think. Like, it's like this cinematic production, you know? It's like all the music is in the right spot and everything just has that certain glow about it. Oh, man. Amazing. Data corruption detected.
Warning, data corruption detected. Please reconstruct profile. Confirm pre-service history.
Childhood was spent on ships and stations. I always liked the colonist one. I always like that you got an excuse to go out and kick the Raiders' ass a little extra hard, you know? Slavers slaughtered your family and friends. Yeah.
Confirm psychological profile.
Okay. Still facing overwhelming enemy force, risk from like blah blah blah.
Confirm military specialization.
Oh yeah. All glowing and shit. Space mage. I've got these. Well, let's see then. Soul Survivor. They make out the Soul Survivor to be more of a Saren type character. You know, you weren't the last one left. You let everyone die, type of thing. That's always how that comes across to me, son. Well, I could pick a... Oh, man. Adept with a shotgun. Assault rifles are pretty nasty, too. I haven't run around with an assault rifle in a long time. I could also snipe with my Adept if I wanted to. You know what? I mean, use a pistol a good percentage of the time anyway. What do you guys think? Pick a weapon. Shotguns, assault rifles, or snipers. The rest of those abilities, I really don't need them. I won't put any points into them even if I get it. So if it had something like, I don't know, maybe a certain biotic power that Liara normally has or something that we could unlock early, that would be something, but... Oh, I know they gotta die if you want to live type thing, but it seems like more of a just let them die type situation. Not like a you're the only one that made it out, you know, the enemy was at your heels and you just barely made it out of the door and everyone that got left behind. It wasn't that type of thing. It was just harsh, terrible conditions and you were the only one that made it out. You probably ate all of your comrades or something. I don't know. It's just, yeah. Well, don't everyone jump at once. Assault rifle? All right. I guess. It's kind of simple, huh? Assault rifle. Everybody seems to want assault rifle. All right. I personally kind of like the sniping in this game. That's one thing they did pretty well in this one. Actually, I think. I personally probably prefer the sniper. The assault rifle has its certain allure also. Hey, I like sniper myself. Oh, shit. You guys want sniper instead? Well, let me know once I kind of see. 1 sniper, 2 assault rifle, 2 sniper, 2 assault rifle, 3, 4 snipers, 2 assault rifles. Oh, well, all right. Shit.
Confirm facial identification.
Sniper instead? They're really... Weapon-wise, they're really not a whole lot different. I don't know, can infiltrators have medium armor? I think they might get medium armor. Maybe. But other than that, I don't know. I'm trying to remember from Adept. I don't think Adepts can ever get medium armor. I think they're stuck with light. They're kind of like a mage. Sniper. We're going sniper rifle instead?
Facial identification.
Alright, we're going sniper then. It's really hard to make a good looking Shepard in this one. Oh. That's interesting. Okay, come back to that one. Just saw something about the face that I had never noticed before. Actually might work. Maybe. a good starting phase. Oh, you can change them around anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Let's see, that's... I think I like that one, actually. I don't really see any difference in the eyes either. Huh. That's actually not bad. Size. Kind of stuck with this. Skyrim was kind of the same way you were stuck with this. Hey, Justin, what's going on, man? You know what's funny is the hair in Mass Effect 1 is still better than Dragon Age Inquisition. I didn't want to hear it. It's still better than Dragon Age Inquisition. If they had Canary in Mass Effect 1, it wouldn't look like that. I'm just saying. Just throwing that out there. Just gonna get these all the way back. It's kind of nice. Oh, I like that. I like that. Oh, let's get rid of that. There we go. Let's get rid of that extra bullshit right there. There we go. Nice. Okay, that just brings it forward a little bit. Works. I don't like any of the mouths. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like any of them. Mike Laidlaw is out? What do you mean? He's gone from Bioware? He left Bioware? heard that. Probably this one. Wow. Damn. Well, he was Dragon Age. I mean, whatever else he might have done, that was like Origins, that was like, as far as game design, game style, that was really him all over it. Dragon Age 2 was more, oh, what's his name? I actually got to talk with this guy too, man. He really loves games. Shit. Aiden Scanlon. That was more his thing. That whole action-oriented side. Although a lot of the combat, like mechanics and stuff, were still very similar. It just looked a lot different on the screen, which I was a big fan of that, you know. But whether you liked it or loved it or hated it, whatever, that was more his type of things. But still, you know, you got to go back to Laidlaw having laid the foundation for that type of game. I guess we just won't see anything like. You know what BioWare really needs to do then? You know what? Fuck Dragon Age 4. Don't do it, because once you put it out there, you can't take it back. You know what I'm saying? You can't have an Inquisition version 2, for example. You did that. That's that. You're not gonna get the production money and time and resource and everything else to go do that again. Just don't even fuck with it until you can gather to yourself people who have a common vision to create or recreate something amazing. Just don't sully the franchise. It'd be better just to leave it alone. It'd be better to put it on the shelf and go remaster Origins. They can go remaster Origins, remaster Dragon Age 2, and by the time that rolls around, remaster Inquisition, because I'm sure shit'll be updated enough by then, you know, technology and whatever else we have access to and whatever. You'll have the Xbox One X version 3 by then, and the PS4 Super Pro, and whatever else is coming out, right? And so to be able to do more shit, more teraflops and everything in 4K and 8K and 16K and all that bullshit. Well, great, that's fine. So by the time you have that, you could justify redoing an Inquisition, and they're not going to do any of this. I don't even know why I'm talking about it, honestly. But we can always dream, right? But if Laidlaw's gone, yeah, I don't think we're going to recognize anything that would come out of BioWare right now if they did put out a new game. Dragon Age. I don't think we'd recognize anything Dragon Age related. Yeah, I really don't. What kind of ponytail is that? Sad ponytail. That's this hairstyle. There should be names for each one of these. This would be sad ponytail. Interesting. I'd actually go with that. This kind of my normal go-to right there. Oh yeah, totally. Jade Empire. Go redo Jade Empire. You know what? They could redo Jade Empire. I'm not kidding. I played a little bit of it. It was kind of hard to get past the fact that half my screen was blocked off because it was in like what 480 or 360p or whatever the fuck it was in, 200, 240p, whatever it was. But still, you know, you could still kind of see what was going on. It was dated, obviously really dated, but dated kind of like Morrowind was dated, you know, type of thing. But I don't think it asks near as much of the game in Jade Empire that Morrowind did. Morrowind obviously being a much bigger scope. Jade Empire being smaller, little tiny areas you can kind of run around, little paths. Not very different than Dragon Age Origins, really. Jade Empire, like as far as like exploring, so to speak, yeah, you might have a little path and a little something behind this bush over here, but other than that, it was just pretty much point A to point B, more or less. Mass Effect 2 were like that. Same way. I don't have a problem with that. I don't care. As long as what I'm doing is fun and really cool in the game. If you've got it completely open where I can sandbox, or you've got it kind of more mapped out, I don't really care. I don't care that much as long as what I'm doing there is good. Dragon Age 2, hell, not only that, but they were forced to reuse a lot of the same map resources, you know, for different areas and stuff. You know, day and night was just a different color. It was dark instead of bright. That was it. Yeah, other than that, you were going back to the same place. That never bothered me. I didn't really care because I enjoyed what I was doing there. It made all the rest of it kind of irrelevant, to be honest. I kind of like that one. I do kind of like that one. Well, it almost looks like actual real hair in a way. I mean, anyway, but think about Jade Empire done with Dragon Age 2's combat. Well, you just like Dragon Age 2's combat. Well, for about 5 million different reasons. Yeah, actually I do. Actually, I really do. You're not gonna do much better than that. You know, there's a few different styles. You have the Witcher / Dragon's Dogma / Dark Souls, Demon Souls style combat, a little more visceral, a little more of that style, and that's fine. But it doesn't leave a lot for lots of different skills and combos and stuff. Like those combat styles in the more pure action fighting style, you know, like Witcher, Dark Souls, that type of stuff. You have certain animations and move sets with your weapons, and you basically build into your weapon and into your move set, if you think about it, especially in Dark Souls. And Dragon's Dogma, too, the same way. You really build into your weapon, build into optimizing that. Dragon Age 2, it's all about building into your character. It's about abilities. Weapons complement your build, right? I mean, obviously, if you're using daggers and you get a bonus for daggers, well, you use daggers, or you use a bow, or you use whatever. But it's all your skill combinations and stuff, and those animations come from combining certain things together, certain skills and stuff like that have their own unique animation, as opposed to Dark Souls, which is basically a moveset based on power attacks, light attacks, rolling attacks, lunge attacks, backstepping attacks, etc., right? That's kind of the difference. So either one of those is great. I would prefer to see the next Elder Scrolls done with the Dark Souls style. I really would. I'd love to see that combat, that type of thing. If you're going to get away from skill trees or build systems, if you're going to completely scrap everything you did in, like, say, Morrowind and Oblivion, all the different mechanics, all the different stuff in play, you know, hit chances and this and that and blah, blah, blah. If you're in my hitbox, I hit you. If I'm in your hitbox, and even if I'm not in your hitbox, sometimes you hit me. If you're just gonna dumb it down to that point, then give us a Dark Souls style combat where I have a move set based on a particular weapon style that I'm using and something more than just 1 or 2 animations. Is that fair? You don't need a build. You don't need a skill tree. You don't need to do a bunch of that. They need to bring crafting back to the Elder Scrolls. They have to bring spell crafting and enchantment crafting back because Honestly, in Skyrim, there's nothing left to do. They stripped everything that there was to do. There's nothing left. Do shit until you get points to put into whatever you're doing. Forever. And then pick flowers. I mean, that has to be a sandbox game. If Elder Scrolls was not a sandbox game, it wouldn't be even being played today. It would not be being played. If you couldn't just go roam and walk up in mountains and listen to the music and the wind in your hair and shit and ride your horse around and, you know, if you couldn't do that, chase wyverns that are running from you because they're bitches and cowards. If you couldn't do that, Elder Scrolls, Skyrim would be garbage. I mean, it's in some ways it's still kind of garbage, especially for an Elder Scrolls game, but at least it's playable. And that's only because of the sandbox aspect. That needs that. Dragon Age really doesn't. You don't have to have that. I wouldn't mind an Origins that was open, like Inquisition was, but that's a shit ton of work. What I say, this is still my idea. If I was in BioWare right now, I'd say, guys, we can make revenue that you could get from a brand new game by simply remastering Origins, and this is all you have to do. Take assets from Inquisition, Red Cliff, the Hinterlands, right? You remember in Origins, like you'd be walking, you'd have a map, and your map, when you'd go to a location, you had certain set locations, and they cried about this in Dragon Age 2. They did the same thing in Origins. You'd have these little crossroads, and they were all basically the same. It was a little road that went east to west about 50 yards, and something would attack you there. And so it would stop. Ambushed, the big swords crossed, fight something, walk out of the area, and then move along your map to another set location. Orzammar, just use the assets you made from the Deep Roads. Just use the Deep Roads from the Descent DLC and Inquisition. So you've already got Orzammar. You can probably change some things, add a few things or whatever, but pretty much you've already got that in place. You've already got the Hinterlands in place for all of your little crossroads scenes and other bullshit like that, and lots of other different places that you might want to just throw in a few extra trees here and there or something. Dress it up how you want. You got Red Cliff. You'd have to make a Denerim. But if you tell me I can remaster a game, make it look completely new, and I only have to say design from the ground up just a couple little map areas, and I don't even have to have an open world continual map or the map style like they had in Inquisition per se. I smaller areas, because if you took that away from Origins, people would cry about it. So you don't. You leave it there. You remember the castle in Red Cliff? You can use that for the Mage's Tower. I'm serious. Just copy and paste and reuse those assets from Inquisition. Transfer them and put Origins storyline in there and use locations that you already have. And there you go. You're done. You could also do that with Dragon Age 2. You'd have to do something with the city of Kirkwall, but you already have the fucking mountains. You've already got the wounded coast. You just use the storm coast. Just don't put in as much rain. You could do it with Dragon Age 2 also. And I'd take Dragon Age 2's combat and put it in both of them, personally. Well, I'd take the animations from Dragon Age 2. The speed and animations. You had haste in Origins. You had a lot of stuff in Origins that they had in Dragon Age 2. They just couldn't really perform a lot of that stuff. If you remember in Origins, like you go to fight an enemy, you had to like walk like this and shit. You'd actually path a pattern. I mean, you could almost see squares, a grid on the floor, and you had to follow the little grid to get to your enemy. Remember that? Like, you'd have one enemy that was literally touching you, another enemy that was an arm's length away. You'd have to walk clear around the room to get around the enemy that you're standing face to face with, so that you could fight the enemy that's 6 inches behind him. Walk all the way around the room. Come on, man. Origins had its pathing issues because of that. Dragon Age 2, they did away with that. They had a slightly different style, and so I think personally that the combat is better. Especially, it's much more pleasing to look at, in my opinion. But it's already there. You've got Inquisition. Hack Inquisition into pieces for your maps, and you can recreate Origins and Dragon Age 2 with very little assets to be made from scratch. Most of it's already there. You can just redesign some stuff. I mean, think of all the locations in Inquisition. The different spots in Orlais, different stuff like that. You've got stuff to use there. And taking out a few meshes and textures, like, you know, if you've got a building that's basically completely ruined. Like, you remember in the Impri, when you have to go fight Ishmael, I think his name Ishmael. Anyway, that demon, that dude that turns into the pride demon and the rage demon and all that, and whatever, the fear demon. When you go to fight him, he's in like that fort, that castle. You remember in Dragon Age Origins, off in the woods, the Kakari Wilds? You remember the elven fort there? Honestly, just redesigning that, take away the snow, put in some more trees and vines and shit like that, and then throw the Lady of the Forest in there. You got it. You've got it. That's it. You've got it. Think about it. It's already there. They already have it. They already own it. They've already made it. They just redress it up a little bit. They really could do that. That's about as good a Shepard as I can come up with. Hey, Jordan, what's going on? Choice demon. He's all offended and shit. Yeah, choice. I'm not tempting you, it's choice. Right. Yeah, that guy. That's not the worst looking Shepard I've ever made. Maybe not the best, but it's certainly not the worst. I think I need to do something with the nose, though. Oh, that nose actually might be all right. That's not too bad. I'll probably wind up keeping that. Huh. I'll probably keep that one. It's not bad. Oh, I like that. I think I'm going with that right there. Works for me.
Profile reconstruction complete.
Profile reconstruction complete. Let's go. In other words, you're stuck with this.
Identification confirmed.
Okay, let's see. Let's go with sanity. No, we don't want that. Let's get the subtitles for you guys. Target assist. Let's just turn that off. Just in time. Actually, just in time because, do I ever make male characters? No.
What about
Not if
Shepard?
I have an option.
She grew up in the colonies.
Who wants to look at
She
dudes?
knows how tough life can be out there.
Well, some of you guys might want to look at dudes.
Her parents
You go
were
make a
killed
male
when
character.
slavers attacked Mindwar.
She proved herself during the Blitz.
I don't play
Although
my
if
characters
enemy
as
forces
if it's
ground into
me. I don't
reinforcements
role
arrive.
play like that in my characters.
She's the
I
only
create a
reason
character I
Ulysses
think's
is
a
still
badass.
standing.
Badass chick is even more badass.
can't
A badass
question
sexy
her
chick is
courage.
even more badass than that.
Humanity needs
Depends on
a
what
hero.
you can make in the game.
And Shepard's the best we've got.
I'll make the call.
love how you find out that the Reapers have basically led humanity by the nose to, Ever tried Diablo 3? I played Diablo 3 a little bit. It was fun, just run around looting shit and messing shit up. I mean...
The Arcturus Prime relay is in range. Initiating transmission sequence.
So this is how you start a game right here. This is what it's about.
We are connected. Calculating transit mass and destination. The relay is hot. Acquiring approach vector. All stations secure for transit. Board is green. Approach run has begun.
Imagine this game's what, 12 years old now?
Hitting the relay in 3, 2, 1.
Thrusters, check. Navigation, check. Internal emissions sync engaged. All systems online. Drift, just under 1500K.
1500 is good. Your captain will be pleased.
I hate that
Joker.
guy.
Nihilus gave you a compliment, so you hate him.
You remember to zip up your jumpsuit on the way out of the bathroom? That's good. I just jumped us halfway across the galaxy and hit a target the size of a pinhead, so that's incredible. Besides, Spectres are trouble. I don't like having them on board. Call me paranoid.
You're paranoid. The Council helped fund
You're
Spectre.
paranoid.
They have a right to send someone to keep an eye on their investment.
Happy early
Yeah,
New
that
Year's.
is
Yeah,
the
we're
official
creeping up
story.
on it, aren't we?
But only an idiot believes the official story.
That's enough. Your soldiers act like it.
Sorry, Commander.
Joker, status report.
Just cleared the
General
mass
rule
relay,
of thumb,
Captain.
always yell
Stealth
at
systems engaged.
Joker and Caden
Everything looks solid.
Good.
when you get the opportunity.
Find a comm buoy and link us into the network. I want mission
Caden
reports
deserves
related
it, and
back to
Joker
Alliance
doesn't
brass
care.
Before we reach Eden Prime.
Aye, aye, Captain. Better brace yourself, sir. I think Nihilus
Actually,
is
doesn't
headed
look
your
that
way.
bad.
He's already
Like, it's-
here, Lieutenant.
It is kind of
Tell
hard with the
Commander Shepard
trilogy to
meet me in
really
the comm room for a debriefing.
do what you want to do.
You get that, Commander?
Great. You pissed the captain off, and now I'm gonna pay for it.
Don't blame me.
I love Jennifer
Captain's
Hale.
always in a
She's-
bad mood.
Only when he's talking to you, Joker.
This is one of those games where, like, when you get back into it to play it after taking a break from it, you know, just kind of putting it out of mind, so to speak, and then you come back to it, it's like reliving some of it, you know? It's like not really new again, but like, wow, I forgot how amazing that was. And you just say that to yourself, like, through the whole game. Wow, I forgot how friggin' amazing this is. A good enough game overcomes a lot of,
I'm telling you, I just saw him. He marched by like he was on a mission.
if it has faults, a good game will overcome all those faults, where they're not such a big deal.
Congratulations, Commander. Looks like we had a smooth run. You heading down to see the captain?
Sounds like you don't trust Arturian guest.
Sorry, Commander. Just having a chat with Adams down at engineering. I didn't mean to cause any trouble.
I think I have
But
film
you
grain
have
on
to
too. I
admit
need to
something's odd
go
about
mess
this
with the
mission.
settings.
The whole crew feels it.
Am I gonna kill Caden or Ashley? I don't know. Maybe both of them if I can.
You think the Alliance brass is holding out on us?
If all we're supposed to do is test out the stealth system, why is Captain Anderson in charge? And then there's Nihilus. Spectres are elite operatives, top covert agents. Why
Yeah, I
send
got
a
the film
Spectre,
grain on.
a
I need to go
Turian
mess
Spectre
with that.
on a shakedown run? It doesn't add up.
I don't mind it. I actually like it, but it's Well, actually, I don't know. With the backwards compatible, this console might actually be able to handle it without a problem, to be honest. But it used to be. PS3 had a horrible time with it. PS3, for all the things that it could do better, one thing it had a real problem with was certain areas of the game, and I don't know if it was a coding issue or what, but the game would just lock up. You get cheated out of all kinds of things like trophies and stuff. Game progress during some of the harder parts of the game. Oh man, it was bad.
You don't trust Nihilus?
I don't like Turians in general. It runs in my family. My grandfather fought in the First Contact War. Lost a lot of friends when the Turians hit us.
Nihilus is no ordinary Turian.
You've got that right, Commander. We're an Alliance vessel, human military, but Nihilus doesn't answer to the captain like the rest of us.
Is the visual theme the one that starts at the start menu?
And they don't come along just to observe shakedown runs. Nihilus looks like he's expecting some heavy action. I don't like it.
What do you know about the stealth systems?
You know there's XP for just about everything that you ask people about in this game.
Sensors,
I guess I don't have to go through all the dialogue. It's kind of
Normandy's the only ship with this prototype drive.
It's habit.
But why are we fully staffed? A skeleton crew would be cheaper, less chance of security leaks too. Plus there's Nihilus.
You know what I'm guessing is the loading, all those loading screens that used to bog you down are probably not going to be an issue with this thing.
A full crew makes sense. We need the extra hands in case anything goes wrong. And the Spectre's just here as an observer.
Well, maybe you're right, Commander, but I just can't shake this feeling that we're out here on false pretenses.
Info's on a need-to-know basis, Presley. Just follow the orders you're given.
Understood, Commander.
Talking to Presley all nice and shit and then just slap him in the face. So, Presley, how's it going? Oh, it's fine, Commander. How are you? Oh, I'm doing okay. How are your holidays? Oh, they were all right. So, what do you think about the the fruitcake that we had yesterday at the Christmas party? Oh, I thought it was good. Bitch, that stiff was awful. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Aye, Captain. Aye, Commander. Just randomly just go off on people. I mean, it's kind of worth it.
What do you think, Commander? We won't be staying on Eden Prime too long, will we? I'm itching for some real action.
I sincerely hope you're kidding, Corporal. Your real action usually ends with me patching up crew members in the infirmary.
Marines are meant to fight. You just fix us up and we're done.
I know how things work, Commander. I've seen my share of combat, but it's foolish to go looking for trouble. You could both take a lesson from the captain. He's not afraid of combat, but he knows the value of restraint, too.
Sorry, Doc, but this waiting's killing me. I've never been on a mission like this before, not one with a Spectre on board.
What can you tell me about Nihilus?
I'm gonna go through everything, I don't care.
Turians are generally well respected by the other species. Their fleet has more patrols protecting Citadel space than any other. They don't always get on well with us.
Oh, missing textures on stuff? Where they show up just like
others
black.
Blame them for the first
Console
contact.
has an issue where
as for Nihilus,
they just don't render people, period. Like you'll have this meaningful dialogue between you and say Garrus or Ashley or somebody, and they'll show the cutscene, and Garrus like just won't be there. You're just talking to thin air. That happens in several different places, in all three games actually. Well, no, I'm not sure about the first one, but I know in 3 it happens several times. In 2, I want to say it happens once or twice. In the first one, I don't know that that's a thing. But I've seen black textures. I've seen all black stuff before on the console also. I haven't played it on PC, but.
What do you know about the Spectres?
Only what I've heard. Spectre agents work directly for the Citadel Council. They usually work alone or in small groups. Spectres don't have any official power, though. Basically, they're a shadow organization.
When you meet Jacob, the showdown with Udina on the Citadel after Cerberus takes it.
Spectres operate above the
Ashley
law.
doesn't show up, and then there's a place where when you first get with Tally, She says something to Garrus. I think you have to have. It depends on who's in your party. I think first, but like the one with Ashley, she's almost always gone. I've seen her there once, I think, but most of the time she just doesn't render into it. Don't know why. I mean, it's not all that big a deal. If that's all you can really shake a stick at, then you know.
You're from Eden Prime, aren't you, Jenkins?
Whoop-de-doo.
What's it like?
It's very peaceful, Commander. They've been real careful with development, so you don't have any city noise or pollution. My parents lived on the outskirts of the colony.
Grouchy!
At night, I used to climb this big hill and stare across the
Someone
fields
say Mass
back to
Effect?
the lights from the main settlement. It was gorgeous.
Door craps open.
When I got older,
see the little
I
hand
realized
pop
it was
in,
a little too calm
toss
and
a
quiet
stun
for
grenade,
me.
and shut the door real
That's
quick.
why I joined the Alliance. Even Paradise gets boring after a while.
Any idea why Eden Prime was chosen as our destination?
Not really sure, Commander. Eden Prime's one of our most stable colonies. Good place to take the Normandy for a shakedown run, I guess. No real danger there. There's gotta be something else going on.
Good. How was your holidays? How was the twins' first Christmas?
I can't wait for the real mission
Was
to
it
start.
awesome?
Do your job, follow my orders, and there won't be any problems.
Yeah.
Easy for you to say. You proved yourself in the Blitz. Everybody knows what you can do. This
Kick
is my
Corporal
big chance.
Jenkins
I
in
need
the
to show
nuts.
the brass what I can do.
Did you hear what I said? Have a nice friendly conversation and just wall off and just kick him in the nuts so hard that his head hits the ceiling. Just randomly, out of nowhere.
This mission isn't about personal glory, Corporal.
You gotta keep them off
We have a
balance, keep
job
them
to
on their
do.
toes.
Don't do anything stupid to mess it up.
Yeah, you hear
Don't worry,
that?
ma'am. I'm not gonna screw this up.
Yeah, you will.
The captain's waiting for me.
Goodbye, Commander.
Let's see, what am I looking for? See, I missed this. Oh, okay, let's go into the settings real quick. Honestly, I'm thinking that, I'm kind of tempted just to see what can I do with this vibration. I don't really care about all that. Oh, they're all on the high side. Well, I can always come back to that. Yeah, see, motion blur and film grain. I'm thinking the game can actually handle it now. Oh, man. Well, that's awesome. I mean, if stuff doesn't happen at Christmas, then you don't have stories to tell 10 years from now or 20 years from now, right? Stuff like this has to happen. The first Christmas where the dogs attack the tree and stuff, that's something you'll be telling for 20 years. If it hadn't happened, you wouldn't have that to tell. So just tell your husband that. Look, give us something to talk about later. Right? Brighter image, lower contrast, cinematic image. Shit, I don't know. Let's see what we got. I'm just curious how different this really looks. Let's see what we got here. Let me see what we got. Okay, so basic armor, I'm pretty sure. Pistols. This is, yeah, just shield boost. That's it, just basic stuff. Alright, we'll do that for right now. Sniper rifles, that's cool. I guess everything goes into warp and throw early on, I guess. Let's see this real quick. Recharge time up to 14%. Nice. We need to look for an amp too. Shepard's kind of pretty. Alright, so let's see what we got. Oh, no, that's no good. No, see, that's not what you want. That's not what you want. That was worth a look. I was just curious. Alright, so let's see. Soft image. If you guys want film grain back on, I think we can probably run with it. Like I said, the... Okay, now it's dimmer. I don't really like that either. Although getting outside would probably give us a better idea of what we're working with. But I think we'll just go with the default. There we go. Yeah. Nice, crisp, clear, vibrant. Okay, so you guys like it better with the film grain off. I know one of you already said that you weren't a big fan of it. As far as motion blur goes, not really sure what that does or doesn't do for you, really, overall. Probably take some of the jerkiness out of the screen. Would be my guess. Sorry, Joker. Let's see. Okay, B. Left is crap. I'm trying to remember the controls here. It's been a while. Melee. Oh, melee is up close, right? Okay, so I still had a cover system in Mass Effect 1. Alright, okay. I think I got it. Good to get that down now, so later on I don't have to fumble through that shit.
Commander Shepard, I was hoping you'd get here first. It will give us a chance to talk.
The captain said he'd meet me here.
He's on his way. I'm interested in this world we're going to. Eden Prime. I've heard it's quite beautiful.
I'm a Marine, not some tourist on vacation.
It's more than just a tourist destination, isn't it, Shepard? Eden Prime is a symbol of your people. A perfect little world on the edges of your territory. Proof that humanity can not only establish colonies across the galaxy, but also protect them. But how safe is it, really?
Are you trying to scare me, Spectre?
Your people are still newcomers, Shepard. The galaxy can be a very dangerous place.
Yeah,
Is
I've
the
killed more
Alliance
Turians than I
truly
can
ready
count.
for this?
Come to think of it.
I think
Half
it's
you
about
guys
time
are
we told the
thugs.
commander what's really going on.
This mission is
Sorry,
far
Turians
more
are
than
either
a simple
real
shakedown
cool or real
run.
pieces of shit. There's really no in between.
I already figured that out.
We're making a covert pickup on Eden Prime. That's why we needed the stealth systems operational.
I don't like being kept in the dark, Captain.
This comes down from the top, Commander. Information strictly on a need-to-know basis. A research team on Eden Prime
Emphasizing your point,
unearthed some
Mass
kind
Effect.
of beacon during an excavation. It was Prothean.
I thought the Protheans vanished 50,000 years ago.
Their legacy still remains. The mass relays, the Citadel, our ship drives. It's all
Those
based
are
on
Prothean
Prothean
legacy.
technology.
No,
This
it's
is
all
big
based on
shit.
Reaper technology.
The last time humanity made a discovery like this, it jumped our technology forward 200 years.
It's not
But
just
Eden
Garrus,
Prime
it's
doesn't
bruh,
have the facilities
bruh,
to
Garrus,
handle
bruh.
something like this.
Bruh, Garrus,
We need to
bruh.
bring the beacon back to the Citadel for proper study.
Obviously, this goes beyond mere human interests, Commander. This discovery could affect every species in Council space.
Why didn't we keep the beacon for ourselves?
You humans don't have the best reputation. Some species see you as selfish, too unpredictable, too independent.
Right, because none of the other species, that doesn't
Sharing
apply to
that
any of the
beacon
other
will improve
species
relations
at
with the
all.
Council. Plus,
Just the
we need their
humans.
scientific expertise. They know more about the Protheans than we do.
Turians
Beacon's
are
not
all
the
about
only reason
charity.
I'm here,
Asari are all about
Nihilus
humility.
wants to see you in action, Commander. He's here to evaluate you.
The Quarians and the Migrant Fleet are all about togetherness and unity with everyone else. Right. They're not separatists at all. The Asari have they don't even know what the word ego and pride and self-centeredness and art narcissism, they don't even have definitions for those words in Asari. The Turians, they're all about giving and togetherness.
Since when do we answer to the Spectres?
You're smart enough to know how things work, Commander. The Alliance has been pushing for this for a long time. Humanity wants a larger role in shaping interstellar policy. We want more say with the Citadel Council. The Spectres represent the Council's power and authority. If they accept a human into their ranks, it shows how far the Alliance has come.
You held off an enemy assault during the Blitz single-handed. You showed not only courage, but also incredible skill. That's why I put your name forward.
Everything the humans get blamed for in the game, they're the subjects of from everybody. Like they're on the receiving end of every kind of racism, discrimination, bigotry, and hatred, and blind, stupid, just distaste from everybody all the time. Like just by nature. And if they question that, then they're racist. Humans are racist for questioning the fact that they're the subject of racist hatreds, when humans probably couldn't care less about what you think. We're off just kind of doing our own thing, just kind of doing whatever. I mean, humans are seen as like a bully to all the other species, but the bottom line is humans really don't go out of their way to worry about what the rest of the species are kind of doing unless you're in their way. Whereas the rest of the species, humans are the central focal point of their discrimination, hatred, bigotry, and racism. And the entire time, they're calling humans racist. Isn't that a dynamic we see in the real world today? Can we compare that to a real world dynamic we see this today? People who probably don't even think about racism in general on even a yearly basis are the subject of more racist hatred than pretty much anyone else. And it's supposed to be just a matter of fact. It's just supposed to be an accepted thing. And if you say anything about it, well, you're a racist for that too. Huh. How does that work? That's interesting. I don't know. There's no hypocrisy or double standards. It's very similar here, actually. You can see how they played this dynamic out. And this game was made 8-10 years before those dynamics really played out in our modern social environment. Not like these things always haven't been a hot topic. Racism and discrimination and separatism and just all the different isms and all that bullshit, you know, stuff for people to yell about and accuse everyone else as being worse than they are so they can feel better about themselves. It's what it really all boils down to. But you see how they played it out here. They just put different faces on it. And I would doubt that they really even knew what they were doing, but they did a really good job of creating realistic dynamics between all the different peoples and races and species and stuff like that. But they put it on just a galactic scale instead of, you know, this isn't just like Africa and Turkey and America and Asia. And no, this is completely different galaxies and systems and stuff. But it still all plays out kind of the same. Bottom line, it's not a human nature thing. It's just everybody nature. It's how everybody acts, right?
Why would a Turian want a human in the Spectres?
Not all Turians resent humanity. Some of us see the potential of your species. We see what you have to offer to the rest of the galaxy, and to the Spectres. We are an elite group. It's rare to find an individual with the skills we seek. I don't care that you're human, Shepard. I only care that you can do the job.
What did I miss? Did I miss something? Sorry if I missed something. I'm not trying to ignore you guys. Asari hot. Oh yeah. The Asari can be bitches because they're blue and they're hot and they have tentacles. So, I mean, even if you're, that'd probably be taking Asari. I was about to say even if you're Japanese, you can like Asari because they have tentacles, but that's probably not very tasteful. Sorry about that. It was funny, but it's still not very tasteful.
I don't like people making decisions about my future.
This isn't about you, Shepard. Humanity needs this. We're counting on you.
Paladin, what's up?
I need to see your skills for myself, Commander.
I need something to drink. Do I want an energy drink or a Coke?
You'll be in charge of the
drank
ground
some coffee.
Secure the beacon and get it onto the ship ASAP.
But it's gone.
Nihilus will accompany you to observe the mission.
I'm sad.
Why is this beacon so important?
All advanced galactic civilization is based on Prothean technology. Even yours.
If we hadn't discovered those Prothean ruins buried on Mars, we'd still be stuck on Earth. That was just a small data cache. Who knows what we can learn from this beacon? What if it's a weapons archive? We can't let it fall into the wrong hands.
Like who?
The Attican Traverse isn't the most stable sector of Citadel space. There are plenty of raiders and criminal groups active in the region. They might figure a Prothean beacon is worth the risk of attacking an Alliance ship. Plus, Eden Prime is right on the border of the Terminus systems.
The Attican Traverse is under Citadel protection. If the Terminus systems attack, it's an act of war.
Technically, yes. But some of the species in the Terminus might be willing to start a war over this.
And might be willing to leave the humans out to dry.
Dragged into a major conflict with the Terminus.
And then humans say anything about it, then the humans are discriminating. And they're racists. If the humans don't like the fact that they're being left to their own. But if the humans don't lay down their lives to protect just one person, i.e. the Asari at the end of the game, if you don't sacrifice 50,000 human ships and 200,000 or 300,000 human lives to go save 6 or 7 Asari because they're politicians and are about I don't know, they're worth whatever I washed off my nuts yesterday in the shower. That's about what they're worth. That's about how effective they are. They're all indoctrinated anyway. All of the leadership among all the races, Udina included, are already indoctrinated as far as that goes. So you sacrifice one single human life to go save any of them. They'll leave humanity out to dry, but if humanity doesn't lay down their lives to come at everyone else's beck and call, then they're discriminating bully racists. And if they say anything about being left out to dry on their own when nobody comes to back humanity up, they're discriminating bully racists. Interesting how there's double and triple and quadruple standard, and humanity gets the short end of every single stick because the rest of the established species in the universe are the only ones whose opinions and knowledge really counts for anything. Because since humanity's the newcomer, then they aren't to be respected. They're the new kid on the block, and they're just to be kicked around. And, you know, if the enemy comes, put them out front as cannon fodder, right? And if the enemy gets in your house, then the humans should come to your rescue and throw themselves in the line of fire and die for you because they owe you that, right? Humanity owes that to everybody, right? Think about that mindset. That really plays out through the whole game. It really does. Interesting dynamic.
What do you know about the Protheans?
Just what they taught us in school. They were a technologically advanced species that ruled the galaxy 50,000 years ago. Then they vanished. Nobody really knows how or why, though I've heard plenty of theories. But everyone agrees galactic civilization wouldn't exist without them.
What is this? Everybody
Their
credits
is
the
the very
Protheans.
heart of galactic
See,
society.
I love how they hid this
Without their
in Mass Effect
relays,
1.
Interstellar travel would be
You
impossible.
say the Protheans this and the Protheans that. The Protheans didn't create shit. They just got really, really big and lorded it over everybody. They were like Roman Empire type of thing. That's all. But everything they got, they took credit for it. Just like the Asari. Any Reaper technology they have, they just took credit for it. Even they didn't know it was Reaper stuff. They call it Prothean stuff. Protheans didn't have shit. They only got what they inherited. Going back, I don't know, 600,000 billion, zillion, quadrillion, trillion years and shit. Yeah, they just inherited stuff, that's all.
Just give the word, Captain.
We should be getting close to Eden.
Captain, we got a problem.
What's wrong, Joker?
Transmission from Eden Prime, sir. You better see this.
Bring it up on screen.
Get down!
Protheans were then what humanity would be in this cycle. Each cycle has had their own empire, so to speak, or empires plural, and however that plays out. But the variable, it always inevitably ends the same. Doesn't really matter how you get from the intro to the conclusion. The bottom line is, by the end of the cycle, several things have to happen by the end of the cycle. And the Reapers always make sure those things happen. Whatever else you do, if you want one galactic empire, if you want several unified civilizations, if everybody wants to just be batshit crazy and at war with everyone else all the time, and nobody likes anybody, and you're all killing each other off, or you've all unified and united as one, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. When it comes to the end of the cycle, this is another beautiful thing about the way they lined out this story, and how you don't really find out until
fast and quiet.
Really the end of Mass Effect 3 what any of this shit at the beginning actually means. When did this really make sense? They throw the Protheans out there. The Protheans don't have anything to do with it. 50,000 years from now, they'll be calling all these beacons and shit. Let's just say after this cycle is concluded, 50,000 years from now, the next version of humanity rises up, and a few more species come out of the ocean and come out of the air and come out of the woods and shit, and lizards start walking on 2 feet, and so you get all these new people. So now you got a bunch of, I don't know, fucking Khajiit and Argonians running around Mass Effect. Doesn't matter. Whatever you've got 50,000 years from now, you know what they'd be calling all those beacons?
For the dig site.
Human
What about
beacons.
survivors, Captain?
Or Turian
survivors
beacons,
is a secondary
or
objective.
Something.
The beacons
Although
are
I think the
top priority.
Turians are an older species.
Approaching drop point 1.
As well as the Solarians, although they've greatly evolved since the last cycle. Even Javik will tell you he remembers when Solarians used to eat flies. He'll tell you that.
Will scout out ahead.
He'll tell you that the last time he saw Asari, they were still swimming around in the ocean. They were just squids. Right?
I don't like putting my life in the hands of a Turian, sir.
Nihilus is on our side. He wants you in the Spectres, and he wants that beacon.
We've got his back, Captain.
The mission's yours now, Shepard. Good luck.
We are approaching drop point 2.
Ship perimeter secure, Commander.
This place got hit hard, Commander. Hostiles everywhere. Keep your guard up.
Can I use a sniper right now without that shit wobbling all over the map? Well, it's gonna wobble anyway, really. Yeah, I can use it right now if I want to. I think I'll just roll with the pistol though for. Doesn't really matter. Let's see. So what do we got here? Here's my powers. Warp and throw. Okay. And throw. Oh, you can only map one ability? Let me map. Alright, so we wind up going to the power wheel a lot. Yeah, we gotta stay in the power wheel. I forgot about that. Pretty much have to stay in there. Alright. I'm sorry, give me a second to get used to the controls again. It's been a minute. You go play 10 other. Oh, look and see this. That's what I fell in love with the Mass Effect. They never got rid of this. They always kept this right here. That special version of what would you call it? Lens flare, but not really. Sort of. It's just it's completely unique. Look at that, man. Dragon Age 2 did the same thing. If you remember, Dragon Age 2 was done a lot like this.
I think we got him, Commander.
Damn! Damn, man! Shit, bruh!
Hostile contact!
Oh, God. What happened here?
I'm slowly remembering. Got it. We need to go... Where the fuck do we need to go? This way? I think I'm trying to remember where all my loot drops are. Damn! What happened? Damn! Am I going back to where I started? No. Hey Jenkins, go out there and get yourself killed. Better you than me. Oh man, funniest moment ever. I was going for the achievement where you have to hack. You have to hack like 1,000 synthetics or something. Like, it's a lot. It's, I don't know, maybe it's only like 250. I don't know, it just seemed to take forever. So I found this this Geth missile turret on one of these planets, right? And I found a place you could hide, and I could just keep hacking it. I'd hack it, wait for the hacking to wear off, and then I'd hack it, wait for the hacking to wear off. Well, when I hacked it, it wouldn't fire. But while I was waiting for it to wear off, we'd be out of combat because the turret was considered friendly. So Caden would stand up, and he would just stand there. And first he would say like, I don't know, something, and then he would go, all clear, Commander. I think we got him and shit like that. And about that time, this missile would come out of nowhere and hit him dead in the face and knock him out instantly. And he'd be there dead for a minute. Then I would hack the turret. It would turn friendly again for a while. Caden would eventually get back up, right? All clear, Captain. I don't see any problems, Captain. About that time, another missile would hit him in the face. This shit got so funny. I couldn't hardly breathe. I was sitting there crying. It was so damn funny. I mean, it was ridiculous. It was all clear, Captain. Immediately, an entire missile straight to the face. Oh, that shit was awesome.
Rip right through his shields. You're out of chance.
Leave him. We need to finish the mission.
Aye, aye, man.
Yeah. Fuck him. He's, yeah, like you said, he's that guy that we all knew was gonna die anyway, so don't worry about it. Oh, wait. Okay, I think you can switch weapons like this. No? How do you... I thought you could hold down... It's not Y. I don't know. I can't even fire my sniper for some reason. Interesting. Okay. Well, that's strange.
Got some burned out buildings here, Shepard. A lot of bodies. I'm gonna check it out.
Okay.
I'll try to catch up with you at the dig site. I remember how to do all this, man. Okay, Andromeda was designed to be the first game in something of probably a trilogy. It wasn't the whole story. If you took Mass Effect 1, 2, or 3 by themselves, in and of themselves, without any of them answering any of the questions from any of the other games, that would leave a lot to be desired. Yet, we take Andromeda by itself and judge it by itself when it's not fucking by itself. Or it wasn't going to be, anyway. Well, they didn't tell me Andromeda 2 and 3 all in Andromeda 1, so it was disappointing. Yeah, they didn't tell you all 3 stories in one game to not ruin the entire fucking story all in one game. They didn't do that in Mass Effect either. In fact, if you'd have taken Andromeda and brought it back here and replaced Mass Effect 1 with Andromeda, you'd be calling Mass Effect 1 a piece of shit right now. Let's just be honest. No crafting, no real skill system, mediocre graphics. Some say I still like the graphics personally. Clunky menu system, combat that leaves some stuff to be desired. Only half the biotic powers, none of the other cool shit, none of that stuff. If they'd have gave you Andromeda first, what would you be saying about Mass Effect 1 right now? Just be fair. And then if you had Andromeda 2 and 3, and that whole story played out with Ryder, you'd be playing Mass Effect 1 with this version of Shepard saying, well, Mass Effect is alright, but Andromeda was the shit. Let's just be fair. That's what we'd be doing. Let's just be honest. So, please stop to think first before speaking.
pew. Pew, 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 pew.
Yeah, I don't know that we'll be getting a Andromeda 2 or 3. I don't. I'm thinking probably not. The fans or the gaming community made sure of that.
Gunnery Chief Ashley Williams of the 212. You the one in charge here, ma'am?
I need a status report, now.
Oh, man. We were patrolling the perimeter when the attack hit. We tried to get off a distress call, but they cut off our communications. I've been fighting for my life ever since.
Where's the rest of your squad?
We tried to double back to the beacon, but we walked into an ambush. I don't think any of the others... I think I'm the only one left.
You just left the rest of your unit behind to die?
We held our position as long as we could. The Geth overwhelmed us.
The Geth haven't been seen outside the Veil in nearly 200 years. Why are they here now?
They must have come for the beacon. The dig site is close, just over that rise. It might still be there.
You're coming with us, Williams. We need that beacon.
Aye, aye, ma'am. It's time for payback.
What else do you know about the Geth?
Just what I remember from history class back in school. They're synthetics, non-organic life forms with limited AI programming, created by the Quarians a few centuries ago. They were supposed to be a source of cheap labor, but ended up turning on the Quarians and drove them into exile. Well, after that, they just kind of disappeared behind the Perseus Veil. Nobody's really heard much from them since.
Move out!
The beacon's at the far end of this trench.
Okay. She doesn't have any of that stuff, does she? Go ahead and give her that. squad mates that way? I guess not. It's different. I forgot. Wobbly ass shit right here.
This is the dig site. The beacon was right here. It must have been moved.
By who? Our side or the Geth?
Hard to say. Maybe we'll know more after we check out the research camp.
Let's get moving. Williams, where's the camp?
It's just on the top of this ridge, up the ramps.
Change of plans, Shepard. There's a small spaceport up ahead. I want to check it out. I'll wait for you there.
Looks like they hit the camp hard.
It's a good place for an ambush. Keep your guard up. Oh god, they're still alive!
What did the Geth do to them?
Yeah, all the revised ending was this little story they told, which really didn't change anything. Honestly, I don't think it really explained much either as far as that went. Didn't leave any questions unanswered or any of that stuff. Honestly. Lay down, bitch. Lay down.
Secured.
Look here, ho. That's Shepard's get off me move. Get off me. Get off me. Let's see what we got here. Good for a minute.
That door. It's closed. Security lock's engaged.
Humans, thank the Maker.
Hurry!
Here's where you get to punch the assistant.
How did you end up in this shed?
We hid here during the attack. They must have come here for the beacon. Luckily, it wasn't here. It was moved to the spaceport earlier this morning. Manuel and I stayed behind to pack up the camp. When the attack came, the Marines held them off long enough for us to hide. They gave their lives to save us.
No one is saved. The age of humanity is ended. Soon, only ruin and corpses will remain.
Can you tell me anything about the beacon?
It's some type of data module from a galaxy-wide communications network. Remarkably well preserved. It could be the greatest scientific discovery of our lifetime. Miraculous new technologies, groundbreaking medical advances. Who knows what secrets are locked inside?
We have unearthed the heart of evil, awakened the beast, unleashed the darkness.
Manuel, please, this isn't the time.
Yeah, Jordan, they didn't really change it. They just added some stuff to try to soothe some people over. The whole point was, if you didn't get the ending, you weren't going to get the ending. We can go off into exactly what the ending really meant, so to speak. We can talk about that if you want. I find it pretty interesting. I think it's one of the better written stories ever. And how it was concluded at the end. Let's see, if I could put it simply. I don't think I can put it simply, but I'll try. Not like it's a big complicated thing, but it's hard to put into words. Okay. If you can imagine, there's like 30 of us here, right? Okay, so imagine all of us being players. Now imagine we were essentially characters in the game. Maybe you're not Shepard, maybe you're just some random NPC just standing off over in the fucking Citadel arguing with some merchant or something. Whoever you are, bottom line is, the capacity to be indoctrinated is not, okay, being indoctrinated is not something you would be aware of if you were indoctrinated, right? People are indoctrinated, and even if they become aware of it, they're too proud to admit that they're not in complete control of themselves. Look at the Elusive Man, perfect example. The inability to understand that you're completely controlled. And you know that's the case, but that is a bit of self-awareness. That is a realization which is too much to grasp, because it means that you've lost all control. Admitting you're powerless over something within yourself that's controlling or motivating, that's essentially guiding all of your words and thoughts and actions to a desired end. That you are literally just a tool. Right? And so and it's always people in positions of authority and stuff, like the people in general. The Reapers weren't really worried so much about the people in general, because one scholar, one teacher, one politician, one scientist, one musician, right, has enough influence and charisma and impact to guide masses of people that indoctrination doesn't really target everybody. It doesn't need to. It only needs to target those who can influence others, who can guide the direction of research, for example, guide the direction of education, guide the direction of lawmaking and leadership, guide the direction of religion and belief or lack thereof, who can discredit belief systems because they don't go along with the agenda that the Reapers have basically set out, that plan. See, a true scientist knows that to create a pure scientific environment, it can't be touched. It has to be pure. It has to remain uninfluenced by outside factors to get a true idea. Well, the Reapers essentially use the galaxy or the universe, for that matter, because I think they're involved with Andromeda too. I think that would have come out later. But whatever the case may be, or some version of the Reapers, something like that. Because we know they come from deep space. We know they come from farther than anyone's ever been. And they do it in the blink of an eye. The Mass Effect relays are some shit that they just thought up to leave behind for us to use so they could hurt us, like sheep, like cattle, right? And so, indoctrinating like key individuals, key elements. That's why they created the Citadel, was to have all galactic leadership in one place, so that when it came time to harvest, they could come in through the Citadel and cut off the head instantly. You cut off the head. You cut off the brain and the mouthpiece. When everyone becomes, well, I guess you could call it indoctrinated. When everybody becomes brainwashed and lazy and reliant on others to do for them what they can't do for themselves, then what inevitably happens is if you lose that leadership, everyone's stuck. It's like somebody pulled the plug and they don't know where the direction is at. Their radars are completely shut off. That's in the real world. This is a real life dynamic. All right, so they included that in the game essentially. And so what the Reapers do is they come in and they cut off the head and the leadership, right? And then everyone else is left essentially on their own. And then what they do is they shut down all the Mass Effect relays from the Citadel. And then all the species are left isolated to fend for themselves. And so the Reapers have a much easier time in going and cleaning them up one by one. And then when they're done, they go back to wherever they're doing so they can observe for another 50,000 years as new species involved to inevitably reach the same result. That's the problem with the Reapers. That's where their logic is error. And that's what they don't understand about Shepard. Is Shepard isn't playing by the rules. Shepard is like an anomaly. Shepard is what they would like to call an accident, essentially, because Shepard can't be broken. Shepard can't be trained. Shepard can't be led by the nose. You as the player have choice. You control Shepard. You are given the ability to choose not to do things that have to be done in order for the Reapers to do what they've always done. Well, you throw a wrench in all that bullshit. No, fuck your Citadel, fuck turning down your relays, fuck your hyperdrive from dark space. You can come on foot, bitches, and I got both of these for you when you get here. The Reapers have never seen anything like that ever, all right? Because what they don't have a pure scientific arena to do their experimenting and their research and their observations on, because they pollute it. That's what indoctrination is. It's essentially putting their fingerprint on their little scientific experiment, on their test slides, if you will, which are all the species as they evolve over each generation, over eons and eons, millions and billions and zillions of years that they've just been doing this forever, to just keep harvesting and refining and purifying to prove to themselves what they've always known, is that humanity's greatest threat is itself. And there's some truth to that. I mean, it's a point, that's really the moral of the whole story. Our greatest threat is us. We will destroy ourselves before anyone else ever gets a chance to. We will piss in our own drinking water. We will shit in our own drinking water. We will poison ourselves. We will kill each other at the detriment of our society. We will hurt, harm, steal, rob, kill, and destroy, and be too proud to admit it while we're in the act of doing it. Okay, so the Reapers have been observing organic beings, right? Because humanity, that's not exclusive to humanity. If you look at the Turians and the Asari and everybody, they're all proud, they're all narcissistic, they're all selfish, they're all violent, they're all hateful, they're all racist, they're all fucking proud, they're all, every bad quality you can possibly think of can be summarized by every organic species. Some have a little more, a little bit less of it. Usually the ones that have more power are more arrogant with it. They flaunt it more. Humanities grab a lot of power quickly, so they tend to be the brunt of a lot more jokes. But the bottom line is that's every organic. That's all the Reapers have ever observed. Remember, Reapers are programmed objects. They're not living beings. They're not even sentient. They can't create them. They can't reproduce. They're required to manufacture each other as far as that goes. They can only observe. They can only copy. They can only emulate. They can only mimic. They can't create. There's no art. In fact, Solus will tell you that, and I think it's a Mass Effect 3. Or maybe it's a Mass Effect 2. You go on to one of the Reaper vessels and you'll see no art. And Solus will make a mention of that. He'll say there's no art there. They can't create. There's no soul. They don't have one. Mankind can't create a soul. We deny having a soul ourselves, most of us. Fucking hypocrites, right? But we want to take credit for being able to create something like that. Look at Fallout with the synths. Perfect example. You can't create a soul, so you steal it from a living being to put it in a synthetic object and then take credit for it. Oh, you didn't do a motherfucking thing. You stole some memories. You stole something which you can't create and transfer it to some metallic bunch of circuits and shit like that, and then try to call that your creation. You still didn't create anything. You just stole something and put it somewhere else, right? And so man refuses to admit that he's not only not godlike and not omnipotent, not omniscient, but we're just the opposite. Like, there's a certain special brand of stupid that applies to us. There's like a whole new set of words in the Webster's Dictionary that applies to humanity on just how dumb fuck you can actually be collectively as a whole. We prove it constantly. We strive to prove how stupid we can be. The entire time we call ourselves enlightened. We call ourselves smart. We call ourselves on the verge of breakthroughs and this and that. Bitch, you're still poisoning your own drinking water, you stupid fuck. Even dogs don't do that. dumbass bitch. Everybody, that's all humanity, myself included. Everybody inclusive in that. From the greatest and most brilliant to the worst. The most brilliant are those who are able to create shit that helps us destroy ourselves faster. That's the best of us. And then it just gets worse from there. That's a fact. They point that out in Mass Effect. That's the whole idea. Where do the Reapers get their personality from? They can't create that. They can't devise it from nothing. Reapers can create nothing from nothing. They have to mimic it. They have to copy it. Where'd they get that from? Collective combined humanity over eons results in Reaper personality, as you see. You all are less than flecks of dust. You're nothing compared to us. You're not even worthy to live. We allow you to live. The only reason you can do that is because we allow it and all that. You know people like that are just assholes just like that. That's why the Reapers, it's why you can relate to the Reapers. They're very human-like, or they're very organic-like, because they've been mimicking organics for billions of years. And all of our collective knowledge, and all of our collective personality, and all of our collective best efforts result in what you see in the Reapers. Let's just fuck everything up really fast, all the time because we can, and take everybody's shit. Come on, man. We've been doing that shit for the few thousands of years that we've been here. It's nothing new. You know what I'm saying? So, that's your lesson. That's your moral of the story. When it comes to the conclusion of Mass Effect 3, it simply summarizes this one thing. It allows you to decide whether you, as the player, right, being in the Mass Effect universe, are indoctrinated or not. It actually allows you to be indoctrinated. Are you clueless? Have you been ignoring things? Are you just mindlessly walking through the game, just doing things, and you get to the end and you don't really even know what these decisions are about? Guess what? That's exactly the mindset that indoctrination becomes most deeply rooted in. Because you're just a fucking tool. You're a mindless, goddamn, soulless, dead zombie. Walking around. Easy. Easy. Probably too damn proud to admit it. That makes it even easier. So when the Reapers have their way with you and they rape your fucking brainstem, then what do? Oh, well, my brainstem's pure. I'm omnipotent. I'm God himself. You know, come on, man. Seriously. So they play on that. The pride is one of your major downfalls, as an organic, as humanity. But you would include the Aturians and Asaris and everybody else. Pride is your greatest downfall. They can play on that. They use that because you won't admit you're wrong. You can't admit you're wrong. So they make you never right. Well, you're probably never right anyway. But if you ever could be right, the Reapers make sure that you don't. And they gently, subtly guide you. So remember, proximity to Reaper tech results in indoctrination should the Reapers be essentially, should they be interested in using you as a tool. Shepard could not be broken. They tried. They're going to try right here in just a minute. We're going to go to the beacon, right? And what happens when the beacon tries to use Shepard, tries to indoctrinate Shepard? Shepard breaks the motherfucking beacon. You can't break Shepard. Shepard's going to break you. You're all hoes to Shepard. Everybody's a hoe to Shepard. All the Reapers, fucking whatever. Come on, I got one of these. I'm gonna bust you in your bitch ass. Fuck you, I'm gonna kick your ass. What? Bring it on. That's all you got? You only got 1 million Reapers? You should have brought 2 million, bitch. That's Shepard's like, I'm not gonna lose until I'm dead type of thing. You're allowed to do that as a player. But once you get to the end of Mass Effect 3, you are allowed to make decisions that can show that you, as a player, are actually indoctrinated based on the definition of what indoctrination is in the game. Being completely clueless, being completely misled, using your own supposed ideologies against yourself to do exactly what the Reapers would have you do anyway. In other words, it's easy for me to get you to do what I want you to do as long as I've got you thinking that you're the one that wants to do it. Right? And you're too fucking proud to admit it. So you're not going to be able to fix it. I got control of you, and as long as I let you think that you're in control, you're going to do exactly everything that I say. And be too proud to admit that you're doing it. Look at the elusive. Look at anyone indoctrinated. All right? They're just sure they're doing the right thing. So at the end of Mass Effect 3, you essentially have basically two options. You can choose the Anderson option. I think it's the blue option. I believe it's the blue option. And just destroy everything. Just destroy that shit. Okay? And what the Reapers want from you is they want what you have and they can't have. They essentially, if they can't be you, they want to absorb whatever it is that makes Shepard special, because you're unique as opposed to any other organic that they've ever run across. So as the player, you get to feel that big chest sense of superhero, right? Because you are actually different than anyone else, or your Shepard is actually different. And so the Reapers want that. And the Reapers want you of your own free will to prove one of two things. Either that you really are an anomaly and you really do have a will that has sprung from humanity that they've never seen before in hundreds of billions of years of having killed trillions and quadragazillions of organics over however many of these 50,000 year cycles they've had. It's like 50 million, 50,000 year cycle, whatever the numbers are. It just goes on basically forever. They're basically considered God by this, the superstitious tribals that they've consumed over these eons and shit like that, right? You are given essentially a choice to either be that anomaly that can't be broken, or to be the tool that they always suspected you are, and you just seemed a little different. In other words, you're either going to go with the program, or you're going to prove that you are an exceptional example of free will. Those are your choices. You have two choices that shows that you're just a programmed ass tool, synthesis and whatever the other one is, right? Or you can destroy those fucks. Now here's the thing. Remember, is the Reapers in the end of Mass Effect 3, the catalyst that you're talking to, when we get there, you'll see, when you listen to the catalyst even lies to you. The catalyst, they even throw in some key face expressions and stuff when you ask certain things. They'll even say, we've made attempts at this before, right? To essentially be God, right? They failed, but they don't really understand. That's why you are brought specifically. You think the catalysts just have a personal meeting with anybody and everybody? You think they've ever done that even once? No. That is, the Reapers can't have a soul. The catalyst is the closest, it's a soul they created for themselves. It's an illusion of a soul. It's something resembling something of an innocent angelic being that a humanity or an organic could relate to. Had you been a Turian, the catalyst would have appeared to you as a young Turian, probably a little Turian boy or girl or something like that, right? And and on down the line. Whatever you value, whatever you would embody your soul as being, an innocent child would be humanity's envisioning of something that's pure and protected and wholesome, right? So the Reapers' collective intelligence, which is the closest thing they can get to a soul and a spirit, presents itself to you. Now, whether Shepard's already dead or comatose or unconscious right there, and they're actually talking to you in your head, because there's some things happening there on the Citadel at the end of Mass Effect 3 that in your physical body you essentially couldn't have done. My belief is that you're either dead or damn near dead, lying back there on the road, and this is something of a dream state. It's no less real, but it's just bodily. Shepard, I don't believe, is actually up in the Citadel. Okay, bodily, right? But as far as Shepard's conscious, as far as Shepard's soul, as far as spirit, you essentially have a 1v1, kind of a communion, so to speak, with the collective intelligence of the Reapers. And they give you this option. Okay, now if any of you buy this, can I just tell you this? And I hope it hurts your feelings. I really hope this hurts your feelings. I love you, but I really hope this hurts your feelings, because you really need to be spanked. If you buy this, then I have got oceanfront property in Arizona. I got this piece of paper over here that's worth $1 million. If you give me $500,000 for it, I'll give it to you, and you can go sell it for $1 million somewhere else. But you got to wait till I leave the state to do it, because that's the secret code. Okay, if you'll buy that bullshit, you'll buy this. The Reapers actually try to sell this shit to you, right? There's a button over there, and it's a we'll all kill ourselves for you. Every last one of us. Even the other 65 trillion of us that's left behind in dark space or whatever, right? Oh, we'll kill them too. We'll all disappear. Everything will blow up and it'll all be gone. And there will be no hint of indoctrination, no hint of nanotechnology, the same shit that's been getting into your head and indoctrinating all of your leaders for the past 600 billion trillion years. We've got the magical whammy button that'll just get rid of all of it. And if you push that button, I promise we're all gonna leave. We'll all just die. It'll be the magic we all commit suicide button if you just push that over there. Okay. They've already shown you they'll lie to you. Even Legion lies to you like 3 fucking times just in Mass Effect 3. You catch him lying. It's the character, it's the nature passed down from the Reapers. What have the Reapers learned from humanity and organics over the last 50 billion trillion zillion years? To be proud and to lie, kill shit, and take people's stuff. That's what the fuck they do. That's all they know. That's all they can mimic, because that's all we do. Well, humanity's better than that. Okay, I don't know what unicorn you're fucking riding, but you haven't watched the news lately. We're fucked. Mass Effect makes that point really clear, and they're all on, they lean more towards liberal, peace, beatnik, tree-hugging fucking XJW stuff. You know, all that other nonsensical bullshit that doesn't do anybody any good, especially themselves, right? They lean towards that, and even they go so far as to show you exactly what humanity's worth, essentially. Now, a stubbornness in a sense of self, a sense of individuality, that is something that we can hang our hat on. It's too bad that we abuse that to deprive everyone of their rights to be individuals while we demand that we all have the rights to be individuals. We just don't let anybody do that because we're fucking assholes and we're all racist while we're calling everybody racist, and we're all this while we call everyone that, and we all do the very thing that we accuse everyone else of doing because we're fucking hypocrites and we're proud and we're hateful and we're violent, we're evil and we're spiteful, we're backwards. We make every good thing that's responsible for basically keeping us in line, we discard it because we didn't make it, and so therefore it must not be worth anything. But then everything we make and do, we kill ourselves with it, we destroy ourselves with it, so then we just do more of that. Hell, if I bang my head against this wall hard enough, eventually it'll work. I wonder why my head's bleeding. Let me hit my head some more to make it stop bleeding. That's what we do, right? And so the Reapers know this. That's all they can copy. And so they try to sell you this bullshit. Here's the magic we'll all kill ourselves and unicorns and fluffy kittens shitting pixie dust on rainbows button over there, if you push that. Now that actually is the right choice. It's the right choice. They're not there to do a motherfucking thing for you. Shepard, you're already fucking dead. They don't owe you shit. They don't have to do a goddamn thing they say, but they're curious. The Reapers don't understand why you don't fit their programming. They've never seen anything like you. So they want to know what makes you tick. They want that for themselves. Maybe they could actually eventually be alive and self-existent if they had that thing that you have that they can't have. They can't even comprehend it. They have the computing power to be able to figure out the universe in 13 seconds, but yet they can't figure you out. You make no sense. You don't fit any logical program at all. There's nothing about you that makes sense as Shepard. So they want that. They want to absorb that. They tried it in Mass Effect 2. They even tried to make a Reaper after you, but they needed Shepard specifically for that, intact and whole, mainly your soul and your spirit. But they can't have it. They don't have the technique that Vault-Tec has in Fallout 4 to just transfer a soul and spirit to a machine. If they did, Shepard sure would have been fucked about 100,000 times over. Because as big and bad as you think you are, if a Reaper decides to just melt your motherfucking ass right now, hit that little steal your soul and shit on the rest of you beam, they'd have done that 1,000 times over. But they have to toy and play with you because they need that intact. They need that intact, that some individual thing that Shepard has. They need that. Once they have that, then they'll be complete. Then the Reapers can go on doing what they always do, but they'll know for sure that they have the essence of everything that is life. That's what they want. So they give you the magical, we'll all fuck ourselves off button. Okay, if you actually bought that, shame on you. You shouldn't be allowed out in public because you're gonna make really bad decisions for yourself. Because I promise, everyone will get over on you forever if you're actually that much of a tool. If that's offensive to you, well, it's only because it's true. If you bought that we'll all kill ourselves button. But that is the right choice. They're only worried about your choice. They're not worried about actually doing anything they say. Oh, they can blow up a few of these Mass Effect relays, and they can even... It's nothing to them. Do you know how many Reapers there are? Do you think that's even all of them in Mass Effect 3? That's enough just essentially to get the job done. Maybe a few extras. You don't know how many of those there are scattered throughout every galaxy in the entire universe. They've had about 600 billion trillion fucking eons to spread and manufacture themselves. Did you know that a Mass Effect relay can repair itself? That the Keepers are essentially their only example of creating life, sort of. And it's an organic, synthetic something that is essentially programmed to do what it needs to do. The Keepers, you know, like you see them on the Citadel and stuff. So they can keep things going, but if you remember, there's a time in Mass Effect 3 when all this damage and shit is done to the Citadel. Maybe it's Mass Effect 2. Anyway, you ask somebody what about the damage on the Citadel? And she's and I think it's Captain Anderson. I think he tells you, it's like, you know, those keepers, when we weren't looking, repaired whole sections of the Citadel's hull in hours, what we couldn't have done in weeks or months or even years. It repaired itself. You think those Mass Effect relays can't repair themselves? They're nothing. We think, oh, they're a big deal to us because we're fucking stupid. A Reaper, a Mass Effect relay, a Citadel, the known universe to mankind is nothing. That's a fucking walk in the park. That's how essentially long they've been around. That's how powerful their computing power is, but it still doesn't give them a soul. That's what they need Shepard for. And so they give you an opportunity. Do you really have a soul? You have one opportunity to prove that you have a soul, and they may get out of your way for a little while. The Reapers will go ahead and pretend that they die, and they'll blow up some Mass Effect relays. And all those relays and shit that are blowing up within the system, it shows the little lights and shit. Is that the whole universe? No, it's the galaxy that you know about. We hadn't been anywhere else. The only time we saw anything outside of the Milky Way is Andromeda, right? So let's go to Mass Effect Andromeda real quick, and this will kind of tie it up. I didn't mean to spend all day on this, but I mean, if you're just going to talk about it, you just talk about the whole thing. In Andromeda, do you know how they discovered Andromeda? They'll tell you that in Andromeda. Is they used a Mass Effect relay basically as a real-time hypergalactic telescope to get a read on just about every system in the Andromeda galaxy. Right? All those little systems in there. Remember, they had a Turian planet. They had different planets. Right? And they're scattered throughout the entire galaxy. That means there was a telescope in the Milky Way capable of getting a read on each one of those planets, and not only just getting a read on it, but they could tell you what the atmosphere was, who it was best fit for. The Turian world was best fit for Turians, the Asari for the Asari. You know, the human had their own EOS and all that. And then somehow in the intervening period of time, by the time we got here, all our plans get thrown up. The Turian planet is just a fucking asteroid. I don't even know about the Asari planet. Eos is this irradiated shit, and something had guided something to go in there and disrupt all of those vaults to create all this nonsense. How much of that occurred over the time that the different species were actually traveling to Andromeda, I don't know. But what we got in the Milky Way was almost real time. And then in the intervening however many thousands of years it took to actually get, light years or whatever it took to actually get to Andromeda, is when all the events occurred, the results of which you see once you get there. Uninhabitable planets. And the planets that we went to were the ones that were targeted. Well, isn't that a coincidence? How the fuck does that happen? Right? Funny is the only way we even knew about Andromeda and were able to find any of those planets is we used a Mass Effect relay as a telescope. So in other words, the Reapers said, here's a credit card. And they laid it out on the counter and they said, now don't misuse that, wink, wink, right? And so now everywhere where you go with that credit card and you make a charge that you're not even supposed to be making, you think they can't keep a track of where you are, where you went, what you bought, and what you're selling? Come on, man. You're using their fucking credit card. We're using their fucking Mass Effect relay as a telescope to look at some shit. And the Reapers are all like, they're even using Cerberus to say, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and go over there. We need a new microscope to study you guys under because humanity's special. Because of Shepard. That's why Andromeda happened, was because of Shepard. Humanity was the main interest. Yeah, they'll include some Solarians and Asari and all that, but none of them have displayed the unique thing that Shepard has. And it's why you also see Reaper tech being used in the Pathfinder's thing. The Reapers have to keep some reins on that. They have to keep some control on that. And what better way than AI? What better way to incorporate AI with the human soul than to put AI implanted in your fucking brain? It's the closest a Reaper can get to possessing you. Now that ties Andromeda in with the Mass Effect trilogy right there. The only way we knew about Andromeda was through Reaper tech in the first place. We broadcasted, and it was the Geth, right? Specifically upgraded Geth, which turned that Mass Effect relay into a telescope. It was the Mass Effect relay was repurposed by the Geth to be used as a telescope for us to broadcast where the fuck we were going before we even got there. Now, who are the Geth controlled by? And what are they? Programmed machines. Doing what? Passing along an agenda. If you put enough cookies and fucking cake in front of a kid, he's gonna get sick from diabetes. He's gonna eat that shit until he can't eat anymore. You throw an entirely new galaxy for us to go shit in the water, pollute everything, a nice place to go kill each other. What do you find when you get to Andromeda? What's the first thing humanity does when everything doesn't quite go right? And the turret, what's the first thing organics do? They turn into fucking cannibals, they start killing each other, they all become a bunch of thugs, mercenaries, rapists, thieves, murderers, etc., etc., etc. What else do we know how to do? When we go, our unpoliced nature will do exactly what you see in Andromeda. So you tell me how Andromeda's story, which was just the first 3 chapters in a fucking 20-chapter book, all of a sudden is somehow lacking because you didn't get to hear the conclusion. Bitch, you didn't hear the conclusion on Mass Effect until the end of Mass Effect 3. And then you cried about that because you didn't fucking understand it. Where's the problem? It's not with them. It's not with the writers. It's with you. And if you don't like that, oh well. It's the truth. And there you go. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. I mean, there's lots of little specifics and lots of little things, but that's the overall, I guess you could say, principle or moral of the story type of thing. So that's what you're getting at the end of Mass Effect 3. It was simply your ability to choose or be indoctrinated as a player. It's the only ending to a video game I've ever seen like that allows you to be afflicted by the one primary affliction in the game, which was indoctrination. It allows you to actually be indoctrinated based on the decisions you're willing to make. It's your choice, right? It's your choice. You're actually allowed to be indoctrinated as a player. And then sit there, if you're indoctrinated, and say how bad the ending sucked because you didn't understand it. Because you're fucking indoctrinated. By the definition of the game, you're already that. You don't even know why you're making the decisions you're making. You're being steered by political correctness, by social agenda. You're a fucking sheep. You're a fucking tool. You can make a choice to stop being that, but being that, if you're gonna get offended by the fact that that's what you are, doesn't change what you are. Now you're just offended, right? Dex, hold on, I missed something. I might actually have an answer to that. Origins is Dex. Origins Dex. Dex in Origins is actually attack, which means your chance to hit, which is that's just platinum. That's gold and diamonds on Nightmare. You have to have a high chance to hit, or you won't be able to hit anything. It'll just be miss, 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 miss. Go fight a Revenant at a low level, and the reason you can't kill it is you can't hit the damn thing, because its defense is like at 3,000, and your offense is probably about 200. You got like a 1 in 20 chance to hit the damn thing. I mean, it's ridiculous, right? So Dex is literally for a rogue. It's rogues can double dip like nobody else can. Dex is your attack and your damage and your defense. Now, cunning with certain skills can affect critical damage, but there are also other skills that allow you to score automatic backstabs, which are essentially the same thing as criticals all the time. And if you never miss, would you rather hit somebody 20 times for 20 or 10 times for 25? Do the math. Would you rather hit someone 19 or 20 out of 20 for just 20 damage, or 10 times for 25 damage? 10 times 25 is 250. Even 18 by 20 is 360. Right? So do the math. So Dex is your attack and damage modifier and defense. So with a really, honestly, when I make a rogue in Origins, every point goes into Dex. Every single point. If I need strength or something to equip certain gear, I get that from the Fade, and I get that from fonts and stuff. I think I wind up putting a couple, like 1 or 2 points into cunning for the speech checks. You know, the influence checks. Never hurts to have a point or two in that, but like cunning rogues have no attack. you have basically no attack, except what you get from dex and what you get from buffs. So if you have to buff yourself and then keep Liliana around to constantly keep Horn of Valor, I think, whichever one it is that raises your attack, and then I think Wynn can hit you with something, or she's either got a passive or a spell she can hit you with to raise your attack temporarily, and you require a lot of buffs just to be able to hit anything. You will hit enemies slightly harder, not a lot harder, but slightly harder with a cunning-based rogue. But it dictates exactly who you have in your party. You have to have all the stars aligned just right just to be able to hit something to do a few more points of damage. Or you can be a dex rogue and hit everything all the time from anywhere. And it can't hit you. You're dodging everything. Enemies are just swinging at you, even ogres and shit, and you're just like, what's up? You can't touch this. What? You can't, what? You're dancing on one foot and shit, doing pirouettes and shit? You can't touch this? You're a hoe to me. You can't touch this. That's what Dex does for you. So, take that for what it's worth. In Dragon Age 2, Cunning was the critical damage, and Dex was critical chance. And I think, attack was also Dex in Dragon Age 2. For a warrior, it was strength, and for a mage it was magic. Basic primary offensive stats. But Cunning dictated your critical damage in Dragon Age 2. Alright,
what's wrong with your assistant?
Manuel has a brilliant mind, but he's always been a bit unstable. Genius and madness are two sides of the same coin.
Is it madness to see the future? To see the destruction rushing towards us? To understand there is no escape? No hope? No. I am not mad. I'm the only sane one left.
I gave him an extra dose of his meds after the attack.
Say
I can shut him up.
Manuel.
You cannot silence the truth. My voice must be heard.
Oh my God! What did you do?
That might have been a little extreme, Commander.
You can't
Might
just
have been
go
just a
around
little
whacking
extreme.
people in the head.
Yeah,
It was
actually
only
I
a
can.
matter of time till he did something crazy and dangerous.
I suppose you're right. By the time he wakes up, the meds will have kicked in.
And if you say you haven't wanted to do that to one of those idiots that shows up in a suit and collar at your front door, not taking no for an answer, if you say you didn't want to do that at least once at some point in your life, I would have to assume that you're probably lying.
Williams, take us to the spaceport.
Good luck, Commander.
He's all asleep on the floor and shit. That might have been a little extreme, Commander. Just a little extreme. Nice. Getting a lot of stuff here. Alrighty then. Okay, I can't put any more in that. So what I probably need is to let me start working towards this. Damn, that goes up slowly, doesn't it? Damn, that's brutal. There's a little bit of building, I guess. A little bit of thought you can put into early game. Once you get to about level 20 in Mass Effect, it's more action, story-driven action game than anything else, really.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here it is, my quote-unquote... All right, ladies and gentlemen, here it is, my quote-unquote perfect Fallout 4 build. Now, this is actually several builds based on different playstyles. You have those who lean heavily on VATS for their targeting and criticals, and you have those who prefer more of a shooter playstyle and just run and gun, right? And then you have those who lean heavily on melee, right? And so with that in mind, and also keep in mind that there is such a wide variety of gear in the game that there are a lot of legendary perks on guns and armor and stuff that might make some of the perks kind of irrelevant or less important than others, okay? So final tweaking of your build is going to vary from player to player, right? So what these are starting special stats for those 3 particular playstyles and how I feel you can optimize your character, right? And tweak it a little bit to your own taste, but here we go. Now, before I get off into any of that, I want to cover one thing, and this is going to save you a lot of perk points if you want to be patient and you want to take advantage of the liberal loot system that's in the game, is that you do not need to invest...
No, it seems more built for daggers, doesn't it? Sarah, to me, is just, you know, the waifu to hang out with back at the crib. Pretty much. Because she's kind of, yeah, pretty useless in combat. Okay. This is, once again, my opinion. But in Inquisition, you basically have 3 classes that are for your followers, companions. And then the other classes are pretty much just for the player because your companions can't take advantage of them. Like Dorian can't really take advantage of Necro, for example. Not really. Solus can't really take advantage of Rift Mage either. I mean, they can do some hard-hitting one-punch stuff, but most of it's friendly fire anyway. So, especially with Solus. So if you try to use that on Nightmare, if you got friendly fire active. If you don't have friendly fire active, I don't even know why you're playing on Nightmare. Just put that shit on normal. Because Nightmare without friendly fire is just slightly harder normal. Slightly more bullet spongier normal. That's all it is. Nightmare at least defines and refines some of your skills to where you actually have to think a little bit when putting your party together on certain things that'll work with one another. It forces you to go look for some synergies in the game. And they're still there a little bit. Not like they were in Origins, and certainly not like they were in Dragon Age 2, but they're still sort of there. Even though they took tactics out completely and stuff, at least some of the synergies between skills are there, and it makes it necessary to find those if you play with friendly fire on. Because you're either going to have a damn near invincible squad, putting up with all the attacks that you give them, as well as the enemy, or you're going to have to refine your skills to where you just use those things that are exempted from the friendly fire and make them work. Which requires a little more maneuvering and a little more building. Right? Turning friendly fire off is for lazy builds that don't require you to really understand anything about the game, for example. So anyway, you've got 2 classes in each class, right, that are really for the player. Like Varric and Sarah, Cole and Sarah are for the player. You can't take advantage of the assassin combo with Cole. He can't do it. There's no tactics. Like if your stealth, then do this. If enemy is elite or higher, then hit hidden blades. If enemy is debuffed with certain thing, then use stealth. If self is stealthed, then use twin fangs, etc., etc. You know, working your tactics to make Cole use at least some sort of combos. You can't do that. There's no settings for that. He'll just attack randomly with the stuff and use an ability when it cools down, but get no bonus from it. He's essentially useless. I mean, he's useful in as much as he can get over there and swing daggers like anyone else. But Cassandra could probably swing daggers as good as Cole could. I mean, seriously, you know. Because you can't take advantage of Mark of Death. You can't take advantage of, you know, flanking attacks and certain stealth maneuvers and stuff like that. Now, Varric buffs the party. Varric has the follower class. Cassandra has the follower class. Cassandra not only buffs the party, right, but she also buffs herself with some certain stuff. She buffs the party. And then Vivian is the only healer. She buffs the party.
Rift Mage and Necromage cannot be taken advantage of by your followers, right? Archer, what is it? Tempest and Assassin cannot be taken advantage of, fully taken advantage of by your followers. And, what is it? Vanguard or Templar or whatever? Vanguard and Reaver cannot be fully taken advantage of by your followers. There's certain combos that you can apply to buff your damage and do certain things that have to be done in a certain order, which can greatly increase how effective you are, which you can't, your companions just won't do, you know? So, like I say, if you're trying to run with Cole and Sarah because you like them, if you're trying to run with Black, I don't know why anyone likes Blackwall, but let's say you do. If you're trying to run with Blackwall or Bull School because you like them, just understand that their skill trees, their special personal trees like Reaver and what is it, Vanguard or whatever it's called.
This isn't your mission, Saren. What are you doing here?
Can't take full advantage of those.
The Council thought you could use some help on this one.
I wasn't expecting to find the Geth here. The situation's bad.
Don't worry. I've got it under control.
Is Archer strong damage-wise? Yeah, can be. You've got a couple key abilities.
What is that? Off in the distance.
I don't remember.
Look at the size of it.
Archer's Lance, I think, is one. Archer's Lance, maybe? I have to go back and look at the names, but there's one or two key abilities that once you've got those, you're good, pretty much. Shit. Bitch.
All clear, Commander.
I love how you get money for each enemy you kill. No, I made my own. Yeah, I always make my own. I like messing around character creation anyway, honestly.
Super husk.
Area secured.
Damn, dude, just died. What the hell, man? What the fuck? What?
Everybody stay calm out there. We're coming out, we're not armed.
Is it safe? Are they gone?
Nobody moves a muscle until we know who you are.
Nice going, Cole. I told you we should have stayed hidden.
It's okay. We're all on the same side here. We're just farmers. We've been hiding ever since that ship first showed up.
What else can you tell me about the ship you saw?
I was too busy running to get a clear look at it. I think it landed over near the spaceport.
Tell them about the noise, Cole. That awful noise.
It was emitting some kind of signal as it descended. It sounded like the shriek of the damned. Only it was coming from inside your own head.
It was probably trying to block communications.
Whatever it was, felt like it was tearing right through my skull. Almost made it impossible to think.
Tell me everything you remember about the attack.
The three of us were working the crops when that ship showed up. We just saw it and ran. I don't know what happened to the rest of the crew.
They were by the garage, over near the spaceport, right where that ship came down. No way they survived.
You don't know that. We survived. If they made it to the garage, they could have had a fighting chance.
I have to go.
Hey, Cole, we're just a bunch of farmers. These guys are soldiers. Maybe we should give them the stuff.
Jeez, Blake, you gotta learn when to shut up.
If there's something you're not telling me...
Some guys at the spaceport were running a small smuggling ring. Nothing major. In exchange for a cut of the profits, we let them store packages in our sheds.
You greedy bastard. You weren't running for your life. You were running to check on your merchandise.
Running to check on your
no,
merchandise.
It's not like that. I just knew there were some packages here, something we could use. I found a
You
pistol.
know, the package.
Figured it would come in handy if those things came back. But you'll probably get more use out of it than we will.
I'm only gonna ask this once. Think long and hard before you lie to me again. Are you sure all you've got is one lousy pistol?
No, wait. I just remembered. I just had it in my pocket. Might as well take that too. That's everything,
Right.
really.
Just remember.
Who's your contact at the spaceport, Cole? What's his name?
He's not a bad guy. I don't want to get him in trouble. Besides, I'm not a snitch.
Would you rather be a snitch or a corpse?
Powell. His name's Powell.
No honor
Well, that
among
was easy.
thieves.
That's all I know, really. So let's try to keep things friendly from here on in, okay?
I have to go.
Okay, see ya.
Good luck.
Thanks, guys. That's great. That fire doesn't look too bad, man.
Commander, it's Nihilus.
Oh, nice. Okay, that changes things up a little bit. Okay, sniper. Nihilus.
A Turian? You know him?
He's a Spectre. He was with us on the Normandy.
Something's moving, over behind those crates.
Wait! Don't shoot! I'm one of you! I'm human!
I like the way you hid behind those crates during the fight. Really helped us out. Thanks a lot.
Me? But I'm just a dock worker. I don't even have a weapon. My name's
Except for this box of grenades and these missile launchers and...
The other one shot him.
What the hell are you talking about?
There were two Turians here. Your friend and another one he called Saren. I think they knew each other. Your friend seemed to relax. He let his guard down. And Saren killed him. Shot him right in the back. I'm just lucky he didn't see me behind the crates.
We were told a Prothean beacon was brought to the spaceport. What happened to it?
It's over on the other platform. Probably where that guy Saren was headed. He hopped on the cargo train right after he killed your friend. I knew that beacon was trouble. Everything's gone to hell since we found it. First that damn mothership showed up, then the attack. They killed everyone. Everyone. If I hadn't been behind the crates, I'd be dead too.
What ammo do I like the most? I forget what they're called. I want to say hammerheads, but they're like force and radioactive put together. I like those all the way up to 10, but my other is cryo rounds, but I don't like anything after 7. The snowblind rounds, 8, 9, and 10, I think those are shit. They literally actually lower your DPS. They lower your damage.
You're Cole's contact here on the docks for the smuggling ring.
What?
Give him that,
no!
That knowing look.
I mean, what does it matter now? So I'm a smuggler, who cares? My supervisor's dead, the entire crew's dead. Doesn't matter now, does it?
Got any good stuff?
Anything hidden nearby that we could use against the Geth?
A shipment of grenades came through last week. Nobody notices if a few small pieces go missing from the military orders.
You greedy son of a bitch. We're out here trying to protect your sorry ass, and all you can think about is how you can rip us off?
I never thought you'd actually need those grenades. Who'd want to attack Eden Prime? We're just a bunch of farmers. How was I supposed to know?
Hand over those grenades. Now.
They're yours. Take them. My smuggling days are over, I swear.
Too many people died here for you to start jerking me around.
Okay. All right. There was something else. Could be worth a fortune. Experimental
Here's my
technology,
butthole and my socks and my wallet.
Take it. I don't need
my
it.
glasses
I didn't
case.
want anyone to get hurt. Really, I'm sorry.
Take this headband while you're at it.
We need to find that beacon before it's too late.
Take the cargo train. That's where the other Turian went. I can't stay here. I need to get away from all this.
I got 5 grenades for that bullshit. Okay.
God damn it! This wobbly ass piece of shit. Up, please. God damn, this thing's fucking clunky as shit. No fucking hold your breath option? Bitch. God damn it. Alright, you tell me that didn't hit? Really? Kidding. Shields the same.
All clear, Commander.
Set the charges. Destroy the entire colony. Leave no
Yeah, I think there's
evidence
like a second zoom option if you do something, but then, like, the shit, it's ridiculous then. Like, we won't even worry about that until we get a Spectre sniper, probably. Or something that has a stability better than 1%. Music though.
Enemy contact. Demolition charges. The Geth must have planted them.
Hurry! We need to find them all and shut them down!
Bitch.
bitch! I love those things, man. That's one of the coolest things they ever did. I got here? I got a couple minutes. I'm good. That was good for a first shot. Sometimes those stupid snipers can just take out your freaking party. There's no loot over here? Really? Now let's get stuff, y'all. Stuff.
Area secured.
So can you shoot moon sugar? Just curious. Just curious. Not that this one would ever do such things. So that's where the ship landed, I guess? Let's get out of here. Alright, so watch Shepard break the fucking beacon. You already saw the beacon control Saren. It tries to do the same with Shepard, and that doesn't work well. It doesn't end well for the beacon.
Normandy, the beacon is secure.
Amazing. Actual working Prothean technology. Unbelievable.
It wasn't doing anything like that when they dug it up.
Something must have activated it.
Roger, Normandy. Standing by.
Shepard!
No, don't touch it. It's too dangerous.
So it's not just a warning of what's done to the Protheans, but it also shows you the little nanomachines attaching themselves to, like, you know, parts of the brain and stuff like that, vessels, and basically if you just get the synapses to fire in the directions that you want them to, you get a person to essentially think and act the way that you want them to. I think that's the general idea. Man, that beacon is radioactive in weird ways. It makes me feel all tingly inside.
The Normandy, a human alliance vessel. It was under the command of Captain Anderson. They managed to save the colony.
And the beacon.
One of the humans may have used it.
Eliminated.
So what are Turians? Kind of like catbirds or something?
Doctor? Dr. Chakwas. I think she's waking up.
Gotta be some skooma crafting. They have poop crafting in Skyrim. There's a poop crafting mod.
You had us worried there, Shepard.
How
are you feeling?
I wonder about things when stuff like that exists in the world, but, you know, whatever.
Like the morning after shore leave. How long was I out?
About 15 hours. Something happened down there with the beacon, I think.
It's my fault. I must have triggered some kind of security field when I approached it. You had to push me out of the way.
I expect better of you, Lieutenant. You endangered the entire mission.
Don't be so hard on him, Commander. We have no idea if that would actually set it off.
Don't be so hard on the Caden, Shepard.
We'll never get the chance to find out.
The beacon exploded. A system overload, maybe. The blast knocked you cold. Williams and I had to carry you back here to the ship.
I don't suppose it occurred to you that Eden Prime has medical facilities.
Listen, you're better off in this infirmary than in any hospital on Eden Prime. Physically, you're fine. But I detected some unusual brain activity. Abnormal beta waves. I also noticed an increase in your rapid eye movement. Signs typically associated with intense dreaming.
I'm not sure what I saw. Death, destruction. Nothing's really clear.
I better add this to my report. It may... Oh, Captain Anderson.
How's our XO holding up, Doctor?
Well, all the readings look normal. I'd say the commander's going to be fine.
Glad to hear it. Shepard, I need to speak with you.
Open a Soren cell skooma.
Aye, Captain. I'll be in the mess if you need me.
Dope den mod.
Sounds like that beacon hit you pretty hard, Commander. Are you sure you're okay?
Intel dropped the ball, sir. We had no idea what we were walking into down there. That's why things went to hell.
The Geth haven't been outside the Veil in 2 centuries, Commander. Nobody could have predicted this.
Did we leave Gunnery Chief Williams back on Eden Prime?
I figured we could use a soldier like her. She's been reassigned to the Normandy.
I don't want her on my ship.
I'm the captain of this ship, Commander, and I want Williams on our crew.
Oh,
you said you needed to see me in private, Captain?
I won't lie to you, Shepard. Things look bad.
I don't want her on my ship. Bitch, it's not your ship
yet. The beacon
yet.
was destroyed and Geth are invading. The Council's going to want answers.
The Council can kiss my ass. I won't let them blame me for losing the beacon. I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, the council can kiss my ass. Well, as long as they buy it dinner.
You're a damned hero in my books. That's not why I'm here. It's Saren, that other Turian. Saren's a Spectre, one of the best, a living legend. But if he's working with the Geth, it means he's gone rogue. A rogue Spectre's trouble. Saren's dangerous, and he hates humans.
Why?
He thinks we're growing too fast, taking over the galaxy. A lot of aliens think that way. Most of them don't do anything about it. But Saren has allied himself with the Geth. I don't know how, I don't know why. I only know it had something to do with that beacon. You were there just before that beacon self-destructed. Did you see anything?
The guy who does Captain Anderson's voice, I don't remember his name, but I've seen him in movies. Kind of a big black dude. Like, you can picture him when you hear this dude's voice. Like, Liam Neeson, the other guy, that other older black man with the voice that everyone talks about. What's his name? He's like got the coolest narrating voice ever in the whole world. But this guy right here is kind of the same way. You can even picture him. Like, it's distinct.
Just before I lost consciousness, I had some kind of vision.
A vision? A vision of what?
I saw synthetics. Geth, maybe. Slaughtering people. Butchering them.
We need to report this to the council, Shepard.
Is that his name? Yeah, I guess maybe. No, not James Earl Joyce. I'm thinking of Morgan Freeman. Yeah, Morgan Freeman. He's just got that. I mean, you just recognize his voice immediately. Shit can just put you to sleep, you know?
They'll think I'm crazy.
We don't know what information was stored in that beacon. Lost Prothean technology? Blueprints for some ancient weapon of mass destruction? Whatever it was.
I think that is pretty cheesy. You're supposed to get there with the human ambassador and go before the council, who already doesn't take you seriously.
He believes
and your only evidence is you had a vision?
This attack was an act of war.
Because anything humans say is hearsay. If there wasn't an Asari or Turian there to witness it and prove it.
And he won't stop until he's wiped humanity from the face of the galaxy.
I'll find some way to take him down.
It's not that easy. He's a Spectre. He can go anywhere, do almost anything. That's why we need the council on our side.
Keith David. That sounds familiar. Keith David. Think so.
When have they ever done anything for humanity?
If we expose Saren as a traitor, the council will revoke his Spectre status.
Remember that dude from ESPN that used to say that? Cooler than the other side of the pillow? He passed away not that long ago.
He'll want to see us as soon as
He's one of the few commentators I actually legitimately just liked. Because he was
head up to the bridge and tell Joker to bring us into dock.
Seems like even on ESPN you can't get away from political agenda and shit like that, listening to those idiots. But he, well, I mean, you have to follow a certain guidelines and stuff anywhere that you work. Especially social media, you're gonna have policies and stuff that you have to go by, but some people don't seem to thrive off that. Some people just literally just want to do their job. As little of the bullshit as possible and just, you know, do their job.
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
How well do you know the Lieutenant?
I'd never worked with him before this mission. But he has an impressive service record. Over a dozen special commendations. Tends to keep to himself, though. Maybe because of the headaches. It's not easy being an L2.
What does that have to do with it?
Well, most biotics now use the L3 implants. Lieutenant Alenko was wired with the old L2 configuration. Sometimes there are complications.
Started kind of late.
What kind of complications?
Cool. At least get
severe mental disabilities, insanity, crippling
probably
physical
cut off
pain.
and then
there's a long list of horrific side effects.
Get to the Citadel and do all that nonsense. There's like an hour and a half, 2 hours of Citadel stuff. Just stuff running around.
What do you know about
Captain
Anderson?
We don't technically have to do all of it.
I've served with him for a few
It's a good way to level up early.
He knows when to let things slide and when to crack the whip. The crew knows he's seen pretty much anything they'll ever run into. And he cares about the people under his command.
How did you end up serving on an Alliance ship?
I enlisted right out of med school. Earth always seemed boring to me. Too safe. to secure. I figured the colonies were teeming with exotic adventure. I wanted to travel the stars, tending the wounds of tough soldiers with piercing eyes and sensitive souls. Turns out military life isn't quite as romantic as I'd imagined.
MILF chocolate.
But humanity needs the Alliance if we want to keep expanding through the Traverse. And the Alliance always needs good doctors. So I stayed on to do my part.
Ever think you made the wrong choice?
Sometimes I think about opening a private practice back on Earth. Or maybe taking a position at one of the new med centers out in the colonies. But there's something special about working on soldiers. If I left the Alliance now, I'd feel like I was abandoning them.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
Commander, I'm glad to see you're okay. Losing Jenkins was hard on the crew, and I'm glad we didn't lose you too.
There's nothing we could have done to save him.
No, I know that, but I don't have to like it. It's been a hell of a
but you gotta accept it, Caden.
Our first mission ends with one Spectre
you gotta accept it.
Another. The Citadel Council's not gonna be happy about that. Probably use it to lever more concessions out of the Alliance.
There's something big coming. I don't want anyone messing it up. You read me, Lieutenant?
5 by 5, ma'am. Is there anything else before we head ashore?
Keep your concerns in check. You don't want to get a rep for questioning orders.
Aye, aye, ma'am.
Put a leash on them lips, Caden. Put a leash on them lips. Talking bad to Caden. Oh, you know, some things you just live for. I'm just saying. Am I wrong? Am I wrong, guys? I'm not quite going yet. I got some stuff to look around
After
here.
what happened to Jenkins, the crew could use some good news. They'll be glad to hear you're okay.
You're not assigned to this ship.
Captain Anderson had me transferred to his command. Must have figured I knew what I was doing.
You have a problem with me, Chief?
You questioned my competence through the entire mission.
Best way to stop that is to show me you're competent. But I don't remember inviting you to come back to the ship with us.
You didn't. Captain Anderson did.
I think we got off on the wrong foot, Williams.
Maybe it's me
Maybe
constantly putting my boot in your ass.
I'm not
Here.
one to hold a grudge. I think we're all looking to put Eden Prime behind us.
Next time I'll polish my boot before I kick you in the ass with it.
Things were pretty rough down
bad
there.
to Ashley.
Are you
She
okay?
has it coming too.
I've seen friends die before. Comes with being a Marine. But to see my whole unit wiped out, and you never get used to seeing dead civilians. But things would have been a lot worse if you hadn't shown up.
Dead Marines, dead colonists. And in the end, we still didn't get that beacon.
You saved a lot of lives, Commander. It might be hard to keep that in perspective with what happened to Jenkins.
I'm not looking for a shoulder to cry on, Williams. Just stay focused on your job.
Understood, ma'am.
Comma, bitch.
Go speak to Jekod when you're ready. Tell him to bring the Normandy into dock.
Yeah, that's true. Caden actually does have a story. Shipper starts kicking the shit out of the galaxy map. I said, go! Go! Someone needs to make a mod where there's like little random cutscenes and you're kicking Caden's ass up and down the hallway. You know, just a little side view of Shepard, you know, every few seconds or so, kicking Caden's ass just down the hallway. Wait a couple seconds, kicking his ass back down the hallway. Just... is that wrong? Is that, don't judge me. Whatever. Those Mass Effect elevators, though. Totally necessary to actually live through the entire, you know, going up and down elevators.
Hey, Commander. Looking for some extra supplies before you head out?
What have you got?
Whatever you want. Armor, weapons, mods. It's not standard Alliance issue, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Well, as long as you don't mind paying for it.
Why should I pay you for my weapons and armor?
My stuff doesn't come from the Alliance. I have to purchase it myself, and it's not cheap.
Weapons and armor.
Hell, the licenses alone have set me back more than I'd like. But no licenses, no goods. Without the goods, I'm out of a job.
What are licenses? Why do you need them?
Manufacturers sell licenses. Each license allows me to buy and sell a certain brand of products. I already have several basic ones, but you'll need to buy more if you want me to bring in different brands. Many of the best licenses
I forget which company makes the Colossus armor. Colossus is my favorite because well, depending on which kind you get, it doesn't have necessarily the best stats. I think it's the best balanced overall stats. Pretty much Colossus armor and you're good, right? But it's a certain manufacturer that actually sells it, and if you can buy the license like on the Citadel and bring it back to this dude, or all you just have to do is buy the license, and then this guy will start selling those particular items.
What do the different manufacturers offer?
There are too many for me to keep track of, but each license will explain what it's good for.
Let's see what you got.
You bet, Commander.
Oh, it's only 320,000? That's no big deal. But yeah, he'll start selling like Colossus stuff. He'll sell it for pretty much everybody, I believe, too. Sell any license. Sometimes he'll even have a license. Don't know why he sells his own licenses. I guess that's smart. I'm gonna be in no need of money, man. Break that shit down for homage, yo. Nice.
Shame about Jenkins, Commander.
That elevator music. Stanislava, hey, what is going on there? How is you? Ermagerd, it's Mercerfurt. Ermagerd, it's Shepard. Ermagerd. Ermagerd. You too, Sniper? Yeah, I'm about to do the same, actually. Shepard does have a long neck. That's true. It's not so noticeable in armor. But you get in civvies, yeah, it's pretty apparent.
Good timing, Commander. I was just about to bring us into the Citadel. See that taxpayer money at work.
Yay!
Look at the size of that ship.
The Ascension, flagship of the Citadel fleet.
Well, size isn't everything.
Why so touchy, Joker?
I'm just saying you need firepower, too.
Look at that monster. Its main gun could rip through the barriers in any ship in the Alliance fleet.
Good thing it's on our side, then.
Citadel Control, this is SSV Normandy, requesting permission to land.
Stand by for clearance, Normandy. Clearance granted. You may begin your approach. Transferring you to an Alliance operator.
Roger, Alliance Tower. Normandy out.
Normandy, this is Alliance Tower. Please proceed to Dock 422.
This is an outrage! The Council would step in if the Geth attacked a Turian colony?
The Turians don't found colonies on the borders of the Terminus systems, Ambassador.
Humanity was well aware of the risks when you went into the Traverse.
What about Saren? You can't just ignore a rogue Spectre. I demand action!
You don't get to make demands of the Council, Ambassador.
Citadel Security is
Yeah, learn your
investigating
place,
their charges
human.
against Saren. We will discuss the CSEC findings at the hearing, not before.
That sounds exactly like, that's exactly what a synth
Captain
would say.
Anderson, I see you brought half your crew with you.
Just the ground team from Eden Prime, in case you had any questions.
I have the mission reports. I assume they're accurate?
They are. Sounds like you convinced the Council to give us an audience.
They were not happy about it. Saren's their top agent. They don't like him being accused of treason.
I'm not gonna sit on my ass just because the Council doesn't want to do anything. If they won't stop Saren, I will.
Settle down, Commander. You've already done more than
Settle
enough
down,
to jeopardize your
Shepard.
candidacy for the Spectres. The mission on Eden Prime was a chance to prove you could get the job done. Instead, Nihilus ended up dead and the beacon was destroyed.
That's Saren's fault, not hers.
Then we better hope the CSEC investigation turns up evidence to support our accusations. Otherwise, the Council might use this as an excuse to keep you out of the Spectres. Come with me, Captain. I want to go over a few things before the hearing. Shepard, you and the others can meet us at the Citadel Tower, top level. I'll make sure you have clearance to get in.
And that's why I hate politicians.
That kind of made me like Ashley just a little bit. Oh, there's a shit ton to do here, man. Like a lot of stuff to do. I don't really have time to get to all of it. Okay, that leaves. I gotta come back and like, search out all the keepers and shit. So here, let me talk to these. Let me just get through this.
Hello there, human. Sincere apology, but I am here on business and cannot be distracted right now.
Badassfully, what seems to be the problem? Badassfully, there's this individual who is spreading my secrets on the street. Badassfully, I think you need to get on top of that and kick that individual's ass. Badassfully. These feet weren't made for kicking. The Elcor are awesome.
You seem distressed. Is there something I can do to help?
Alarmed response. You overheard that, did you? This is all going so wrong, and it is the Asari consort's fault. She's the one who started all this.
Man, y'all, have you heard that in Mass Effect 3 when whenever we get around to that, if you go to the Citadel, like there's this big long wall of advertisements, and one of them is for Blasto, the Elcor Spectre, or no, Blasto, the what are those things called? The jellyfish. Hanar. Blasto, the first Hanar Spectre, right? And he's got an Elcor sidekick. And so Blasto says like really funny shit, and his Elcor sidekick, every time he responds, because he's in an action movie, he has to let you know how he's responding, because they have no inflection on their tone, so he has to say badassfully. Every time he responds, he has to say badassfully. That shit it's I don't know who came up with that. It's the most awesome shit ever.
Who's this Asari consort?
Curious, you have not heard. You must be new to the Citadel. Everyone knows Sha'ira, the consort. I cannot speak more about this problem. It is too sensitive. Suffice it to say, she has compromised my authority as a diplomat.
Where can I find this Asari consort?
She is across the bridge from here. Her offices are easy enough to spot. Good day, human.
Human, get away from me. Now just take a deep breath. You're mocking me.
EarthClan, you are in the wrong place, I think.
I think it's classic
Your
shit, man.
ambassador is next door in the large office.
Chastising remark. Don't be so rude, Din. At least introduce yourself.
I am Din Korlak, Volus ambassador. Is there something I can do for you, EarthClan?
Yeah, wouldn't that be awesome?
You seem to have a bit of a chip on your shoulder, Din.
You humans are new to the Citadel, and yet the Council has granted you great favor.
Chastising rebuke, Din. Your species has always been granted many concessions. Volus territory has expanded tenfold.
I'm not a fan of the Volus either, except for that one biotic god from Mass Effect 2.
Details.
Now that Volus
we
is
still
awesome.
have no real say in the decisions that
I
affect
am
Citadel
biotics
space.
made flesh. That's holy shit. That is awesome. That shit is funny, man. That's what makes the games worth playing, man.
I'd like to know more about the Volus.
I'm sure our history and culture would bore you, EarthClan.
Tell me about Volus culture.
We are tribal by nature, but our ways are not violent. We barter and trade our lands and tribe members in order to increase status. Larger tribes often engulf smaller ones and eventually split again. Our society is very malleable, and our government is always shifting and changing. Since we're not physically adept, we trade our services for protection.
Actually, I would like to know more about your history.
My people came to the Citadel shortly after the Asari and Salarians had discovered it. We were instrumental in establishing a standardized galactic economy.
Biotic wind.
However,
a godly
despite
biotic
our long association with the Citadel
wind.
and our many contributions to galactic society, we still do not hold a seat on the council.
Goodbye, Ambassador.
Yes, yes. Good day, Earth Clan.
Awesome. Well, what do we have here? I don't need one of those. You don't need one of those. But you do. Yeah, we got to come back and find all the keepers, and there's like what 25 of them or something. Quite a few. I think that's a. That's pretty quick. Notice a lot of times like when the game like stops and stutters to like render in the next area and auto save and stuff, it's not taking as long, it's cycling through much quicker. Haven't really seen any like graphics issues. Frame rate doesn't just get destroyed every 5 seconds. It's been pretty nice. Don't know that the graphics are better. I doubt it necessarily improves on that, but the smoothness of the game is pretty nice. Anyway, all right, well, I think we'll call that a day. Not a whole lot. Just the kind of like the tutorial section, I guess, or whatever. Eden Prime. I just got to the Citadel, but now it's, you know, getting all your party members and doing all that stuff, finding all the keepers and all that. I don't have time to. So basically, tomorrow when we start, we'll just have all of that. Why is that? Whatever. Anyway, yeah, but I'm gonna get out of here. Yeah, I started late tonight, so it's not one of those real epic long streams or anything. But I told you guys I'd be here this evening, so at least we got to stream a little bit. We got that out of our way. So now it's just, it's just running around the Citadel and leveling up, getting stuff, hopefully getting lucky, finding some decent things that we can actually use, and getting a few levels under our belts. We got to go get Liara, and that is the hardest part of the game, in my opinion, on Insanity. With a new character, new game plus, it's not a big deal. But on a new character, dealing with that stupid Krogan warlord and his bitch-ass Geth, that stuff's brutal. Anyway, well, thanks, guys. Nice to see you, Status. Figure you'd appreciate the whole Mass Effect thing. I think we're probably just going to go through all 3 games. I've never played an Adept in Mass Effect 2, I don't think. I don't think I have. I always do like an infiltrator or... usually an infiltrator. That's usually pretty much... I don't really have interest in a whole lot else. So, that'll be different. Anyway, I will catch you guys probably tomorrow, most likely. If I don't see you tomorrow, then... or tonight or whatever you want to call it, then Happy New Year's and all that. You guys have a good one and stay safe and don't go out driving at all. Just don't. That's it. So I guess see you guys this evening. Hopefully I can get on sometime before midnight so we can have New Year's. Of course, it'll be New Year's probably in 12 different time zones with you guys. So, but still, hopefully we can do that. Anyway, I'm going to go eat and probably try to get some sleep and do a few things. And I'll try to get on as early as I can tomorrow, today, whatever you want to call it. All right, guys? Till then, let me get out of here. You guys take care. Seem to always play. I like Infiltrator on Mass Effect best, except on Mass Effect 3, I like Vanguard the best. Because it's just so much damn fun to run around and use your body as a weapon. I mean, you don't even have to use guns. You can just punch people and kick people and bulldoze people to death. That's just the best shit ever. Seriously. But anyway, all right, let me get out of here, guys. I will see you guys this evening or tomorrow evening or whatever. I guess this is that time when most streamers are spayed. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe and follow and all that. Well, if you guys don't know how to do that on YouTube already, then I'd just be insulting you by telling you anyway, right? So I figured you guys know how to do all that shit. So I just hope to see you guys later. So I'll see you guys this evening. Till then, peace out.